Collider Live, everybody. It is Thursday, October 3rd, 2019. What a show we have here today. Ladies and gentlemen in the booth, hey, Alex is here. Cody Hall, Mark, the Yodiest of Reillys, Joshua Makugas, and the Queen of Death, Dorina.
Buenos dias.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen.
What does that mean? Good day?
Yeah. Sure.
It's a little weird. Trying to adjust that.
Good morning?
Yeah.
Oh.
Could be.
Well, no, dia is day.
Diaz.
Yeah, Josh is correct.
Yeah. Nice.
Muy bien.
It is
That's for Dad.
There's a lot going on today, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us. We have some fun stuff, some things to talk about movie related, and then we have an announcement. That announcement will happen around 11 o'clock. So just in case you are tuning in to find out, well, when are they going to talk about the announcement? 11 o'clock. Then we should just get right into this thing.
Yeah.
So as you guys know, we just ended a really fun campaign with Heroes and Villains, and we had on a lot of cool gear. Josh had the jacket, the one jacket that he gave away at Halloween Horror Nights.
yeah.
It was cool to a
That
fan.
guy was psyched.
He was really
He
psyched.
found it pretty fast.
I know.
Yeah, but one of the main things that kind of came out of this that people, I don't know, have we even talked about it on air yet? I never talked about it at all.
Teased it.
Teased it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we did a video for Heroes and Villains, and
Yeah, my back still hurts from it.
I know
So much exercise.
But it was a lot of fun. There was a lot of cool stuff going down, and then the genius that is Frank Lucatardo, he cut and shot and did this whole thing. But we actually have a trailer for it.
Yeah.
So we are going to show you guys a trailer that this video for Heroes and Villains, it airs this Friday.
Tomorrow.
That's right.
Force Friday.
That makes sense. Tomorrow.
What's Force Friday?
That's all right, Josh. Don't worry.
Big Star Wars thing.
Let's get
All the
But just
merchandise.
one day tomorrow?
Yeah.
Or every Friday?
It's just tomorrow.
Tomorrow
just
and
tomorrow.
it's
It
like-
involves Vulcans and Dementors.
Right.
And it's October the 4th every year?
Yeah, that's right. No, it's not every year. But
just for like the it's a long thing.
Not necessary.
Okay.
All right. So let's run the trailer and we'll show you guys exactly what we've been working on. Here we go.
Yeah.
Hello there. Here we are. We're back.
Yeah.
Put your phone down.
It's a lot of fun, man. It's a lot of fun. Josh McCougar flailing his arms around.
So fun.
Fernandez going at it. Big battle. So it's
Wendy taught us some amazing
She did.
choreography.
Yeah.
Emma was actually like a fencer. It's this whole. I
What?
discovered many talents
She's
here.
a fencer?
Yeah, you can tell.
Yeah.
You know, Penn State won the fencing national championship when I was in college, right? And we won like 3 years in a row. So, so we used to, I was like, can you go watch fencing matches? Like, is it like open to the public? And we went in there, and it was like 6 people, and we were hammered. And I was like, let's fucking go fence! And this guy comes and he's like, you can't cheer during fencing. It's like, they have to really be quiet because it's a very like serious
Yeah.
sport. So you have to sit there when something happens, then you clap. And I was like, oh, that's bullshit.
Yeah.
And they kicked us out.
Makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I could see every frame of that from your life.
That's the realest story you've ever told about yourself.
You guys, you're fucked up. You'll probably laugh at this story, but I felt miserable about this yesterday. I've been playing with the kids a lot. Like my birthday was a lot of fun. Yeah, I've been spending a lot of time with them. It's been great.
It's your birthday.
And I told you. So what I've been doing lately with the kids, they have these bouncy things, and they hold on to it, and so the little one will bounce up and down, and smile and laugh, and I take it, and I chuck it, and like she goes
You
after
play
it.
fetch with your children.
Yeah, I was just
more or less. Then it tires them out.
that with Leia,
I did
yeah.
the same,
Yeah.
and I do it with my 8-year-old too. But the 8-year-old has the big purple one,
Okay.
right? So the 2-year-old has a little blue one. And
Is
so,
it this thing?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
hopping up and down those
Oh, I
things.
like those.
Those are great. So I was like, okay,
Timeless toy.
I said one more time, right? So the little one, I throw the thing, she goes to get it, right? And she knows it's the last time, so she's just sitting there like in the middle of the yard, just kind of smiling, laughing. And then so the 8-year-old is bouncing up and down, and then I was like, enough of this. So I take the fucking big purple one and I boot it, and it just drills my 2-year-old right in the face. And she goes flying backwards on the floor, and I was like, fuck, right? And then the 8-year-old takes off, and for some reason tells my wife that the 2-year-old landed on the concrete, which she did.
Mommy, Daddy killed my sister.
Right. If she would have gone on the concrete, she would have to fly about 40 feet in order to do it. But she bounced back, and she just basically got the shit scared out of her because she was, imagine this, you're smiling, laughing. You're just smiling, laughing, enjoying your 2-year-old life,
right.
and you just turn to the right and get smashed in the face by a big purple bouncy.
Oh my God.
And she went, because I booted the fucking thing. And I just, the second I hit it, it was like you yesterday with that comment that you made.
Oh, yeah.
Like with Roxy.
God.
Like you caught yourself.
Which you said it was a wrong comment. I was like, it's a right comment, Josh.
For you.
Yeah.
You probably would have answered it like, yes, indeed.
Yes. Agreed.
Legitimately, it was like,
concur.
oh
No, yeah. And the second I kicked it, I knew, like I saw it. I'm
It's
like,
in slow motion, wasn't it?
It was complete slow motion. I
the-
just saw her, this big smile on her little 2-year-old face, and she just got launched onto the grass.
I mean, that's
And you're like, that's life, kid.
Yeah.
That's the moment that you
More or
wish
less.
you had, the camera going because
I know.
slow motion, whatever. That goes right up on kids getting hurt, which is my favorite.
yeah.
Oh,
If she was okay.
Yeah.
So because I would have been, oh my God, if she would have been hurt, I wouldn't believe
course,
myself.
yeah.
But
But
she
when
just,
they don't get hurt, it's funny.
I know
Yeah.
she was
Like that Instagram account.
It is funny you
Exactly.
say that because like I was holding her because she was hugging onto me because she was so scared. She didn't know what the fuck was going on.
You're like,
And
Daddy
I'm
just betrayed me.
And I'm holding her. She didn't know I kicked it. All she knows is that this fucking thing jumped at her and hit her in the head because she didn't see me kick it. She just sitting around out enjoying her life, and she's holding on to me, and I'm like I'm like calming her down and saying it's okay. But in my head I'm like, that was fucking fun.
Did Sadie come out like T was
Yes,
2000?
because she's like, oh my God, what happened? She fell on the concrete. I'm like, no, I kicked the ball. And my wife goes, you seem to be doing that a lot lately. Because remember, I threw this fucking thing at her and it hit her in the head the last week. I'm gonna stop throwing those.
You
things.
and balls.
Yeah, well,
Nicely done.
see, I didn't say that. I didn't say
Did you?
that.
I don't know if I've told this story on here before, but it's a very similar like dad story,
Yeah.
right? So I was a really horrible
Drunk.
baby.
Oh.
Well, that too. Really terrible
Why?
baby.
What does a terrible baby do?
Crying, like I was very colicky,
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
So like my brother was this angel, never made a peep, and then I come and I'm
Does that
crying
shock
all
you at
the
all?
time.
No.
Look at him in Halloween Horror Nights.
I
Did
was
you
like
sound like Roger Rabbit as a kid too?
Yeah. Well, I started walking at 8 months, like much to my parents'
Okay.
chagrin, right? So I'm at I think I'm about a year old, and my mom was finally like, John, I need a night out with the girls. I gotta go. And my dad's like, sure, no problem. So she comes home, and my dad has the playpen on top of me because I'm pushing it around like a jail cell, right? Because they couldn't keep me in the playpen. So
All of this makes sense.
yeah. So my dad's like, all right, I'm gonna take Josh out in the stroller. It's fine, whatever. So he gets to the top of our driveway, and our driveway was pretty steep back in the day. And he starts talking to the neighbor. They're having like a beer, and my brother's coming out, and he's like pushing the stroller, whatever. My dad's like, quit pushing the damn stroller. And my brother's like, hey, it's funny. And then he just lets it go.
Yeah.
And it goes down the driveway, right? And my dad, like T-2000, running after it. Before he can get it, the stroller hits the back of a car, like our car, and it goes, whap! And my dad said, I looked up at him, and I was like, that wasn't too... and just lost it, right? So my mom is up on the top floor of like a house, and she hears the screaming from the window. My dad said she jumped from the window to the deck, which was a story, and then just comes like running to it. She's like, never again! This is never happening again! So that's what I imagine.
So
Yeah,
much
it was.
screaming in your house.
Oh,
Maybe that's
sorry.
why you
What
scream.
is that?
You know what I
reminds me-
used to do as a kid? Apparently, that I was told is that I
Apparently.
used to. My mom says that I used to slam my
Face.
Oh. And on the crib.
Oh.
So because I didn't want like being on the crib.
Also
so,
makes sense.
Yeah, and so she would come in, and I would just be
Boom.
doing this constantly.
Oh my God.
On the, and she's like,
You're
"What
the
is?"
craft.
Yeah, she's exactly. She's
Yeah,
like,
sure.
my baby's possessed.
That makes sense.
Yeah, and then when she would take me out of the crib, if I wasn't happy, apparently I would do it on the floor.
Oh, that
so
makes
there you
sense.
go.
I was
So
driving-
that's why my head's all broken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or not, or solid.
Why you have the screw loose.
Yeah, I was driving. I don't know, it was either yesterday or the day before, and I had one of you. I had a perfect Instagram post that Makuga would be proud of, but I just couldn't get the shot.
Okay.
And it was just going to be Dorina's Uber driver, and it was the license plate was Lucifer.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was like,
Yes.
shit. I was going to be a good one, but
That's
it
right.
didn't
Satan
happen.
drives me around.
I know.
I saw
He's a very good employee.
I saw a license plate this morning, and I was driving too fast, whatever,
Yeah.
and it just said douche, DEWSHE, and I looked at him,
good.
and the guy looked like a douche, and I gave him the thumbs up, and he was like, thumbs up.
like,
At least
yeah.
he knows who he is,
He's
right?
self-aware. self-aware. Good
Yes,
for him.
self-aware that he's a
that
douche.
makes him
Yeah.
less douchey.
Yes.
Right.
He's like, I'm starting a brand.
Oh, I agree. Like he's like, I'm a douche. I'm
Yeah.
gonna
You
put
should
it
have
on my
played the douche
Instagram.
anthem for me.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
I was singing Uncle Fucker to myself today.
You have gotten the tonight is your night, bro, in my head for the last 3
Good,
days. It's
good.
stuck. I woke
Do
up
you know
this
what that's
morning.
from?
Yeah, that's from Twins.
Good girl.
It is.
Good girl.
It is.
I've had "Where's Roxy" in my head since Universal
Where's
Studios.
Roxy?
Oh, yeah.
I'm trying to get lost in the 405. There's Roxy.
That is.
I'm not
that is-
listening to my
running.
ways.
Speaking of which, we have a new song, by the way. We have a new song.
we do.
It's not by David B. I think it is by it's our boy who was doing all the new songs. It's
the
the
John
new-
Mayer
yeah,
guy?
Yeah. Can we find that guy's name? Do you remember what his name is? The guy that was doing he did all the. No, that's not the John Mayer guy.
By the way, real quick, before you, while they're
Alex,
looking
take a look
for
and
it,
see if you can find the guy I'm talking about that did all. He did the Reilly dog song and all that other stuff.
there's this guy.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
The guy
Well-
Apex Form on Instagram who made those face-off posters that I showed you, he made a Bad Boys for Life, like he
Real
redid
poster.
it, and it's kind of badass. Like that's kind of what
Ooh.
you
Much
want.
I mean, that's
Man.
what you want.
That's what you
That's
want.
There's just
fine. That's
so
great.
many fans are better at posters than the
The people that
marketing
work in
team.
them?
What was the
Crazy.
song? Well, you're not gonna find it on Facebook. We're going all the way
Hold
through.
on,
it.
let
So
me-
What about what was the name of the Roxy song that he did? Because he did Roxy's Lost. I can't. Just put Roxy song Collider Live and let's see if it pops up. Trying to find this guy.
You know what I saw yesterday?
What?
I went to
Quick
Beyond
video.
Fest and saw The Exorcist on the big screen. It's so much better on the big screen.
Oh, yeah, I
Is it?
did that when they re-released with
Yeah.
with an extra footage.
Yeah.
That was the best.
Oh yeah,
It's so good.
He
would you
sang
do
the
that?
Chip song.
Just because I wanted to face my fears, Josh. Just like you went to Universal Studios.
I wanted to see her
Sorry,
do the
videos.
spider crawl down the stairs.
It's messed up.
That's what they added.
Really
What
messed
did
up.
Spider crawl? She does a spider-
She's like
does
she's like
this
upside
down the
down
stairs.
during a party. During the party scene, she like all
That's
of a
it.
sudden she looks up.
Yeah, John Galagos music. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So let's bring up the first one.
Igla.
Yeah. So this is he made a new song with Igla. Turn this up, please. Jonah Galagos.
Gallegos.
Gallegos.
Sure. This will stick in your head, Josh.
Oh, no.
This will definitely stick in your head. I was singing this for like 3 days. It's really good, and it's like
thought
it's
that was
this
part
is,
of the
This is a Collider Live song. When you hear
This is like a Star Wars story.
yeah.
Want some cookies? And I say yes.
Pretty good lyric.
They're all talking about the Bachelor. Cody couldn't
Cody got that.
Josh is about to know.
Thanks, man.
You said that. You said that.
Is that what I said?
Yeah.
Very good.
Like a young Charlie.
Yeah.
The mic stinks of spraying with Febreze.
That's pretty good.
Begging for a sick of monkeys.
She is.
This is like a classic.
Whoa.
You've got to be kidding
Right?
me.
Want some milk? I say yeah.
This is good.
Yeah, it's really good.
An eighth, 8, 9. Just talking nonsense on Collider Live.
It's fucking
It's really good.
Roker's working on his sportsmanship. Dorina's in so
It's not wrong.
We got to send this to Igla.
We do. We really do.
Hey, keep going.
Rallies and nails just grow so fast. Christian Holland's gonna put 'em on blast. When will they talk about movies? When a goldfish here, that's the show you newbies.
Yeah.
Take a hammer, slam some fireworks. Maybe I don't want JoJo, but I want Pearl.
It's It's good.
So good.
That's gonna be in my head the rest of the day.
We should all be around a fireplace singing.
Seriously.
Totally. We need to invite this guy to like the first ever Collider Live campfire.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, we should have him and Thrawn and David B do a concert.
Uh-huh.
Collider live concert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, this is,
Okay,
this is great.
this is so funny.
But it's really good. You can check out his YouTube channel. What is it again, boys? His YouTube channel.
Yana Gallegos.
Jonah Gallegos.
Jonah Gallegos.
It occurred to
Music.
me. You know what's funny? It occurred to me with the Reilly's nails thing. I had a dream last night, Makuga, that you were saying your nails are long. I'm like, I just got them. They're right. See, look at me. That was my dream last night.
Yeah,
so.
that's pretty good.
But
Thank pretty good.
Eagle got his own song.
Eagle. I got
Wow,
it. Like,
good
what?
for you. The
We
these
gotta
people
get
are
through
so
to him
creative.
somehow.
I
Yeah.
love it.
I mean, he's he's the showrunner on the Hawkeye show. Is that what
Yeah,
it is?
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we have enough people that we know at Disney or Marvel,
just-
right?
Yeah, no, I'm going to reach out for him to come on the show.
You gotta have him on the show. You gotta play his song.
Yes.
I wonder if is he on Twitter?
Probably.
I wonder if
or
anyone
one
should.
of them.
Like, are people attacking him on Twitter?
No, you better not.
Yeah.
You better not. He's a fucking legend.
With that name, nobody
You
should.
don't attack
Igla.
Igla.
Let's see.
Igla is a legend
Okay.
in these parts.
Yeah.
No, he's not. No, he's not. Good.
Damn,
Okay. So thank you for the Igla song. Thank you guys. And thank you once again to CM Punk yesterday for coming in. That story took off, man. We
That's a cool interview.
over collectively we did over 400,000 views yesterday. So thank you guys for tuning in and checking it out. And thank you to CM Punk for coming in, being just like very honest and not giving a shit, man. He's one of those guys that, I mean, I tweeted at him and he wrote back and he's just like, I said, this guy's honest as fuck, and he just wrote back, maybe to a fault.
Yeah.
But it was a really good conversation. It was good. All right, we have some cool shit going down with the movie news. What do we got?
Yeah, well, I want to start with this story because it's made me laugh and it also made John Krasinski lose his mind. But Matt Damon revealed to him, and then later on a show
Damon.
that he was offered Avatar. He was offered Sam. Was it Worthington? Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Damon
God,
was. Okay, yeah.
I couldn't remember his name. And Cameron basically said, I'm going to paraphrase, I could get an unknown for this, but I want you, and I'm going to give you a percentage
Of the movie.
if you
turned it
sign on.
down?
And he turned it down,
Oh my
and
God.
and they found out what that percentage would have amounted to, $250 million.
Jesus.
That he passed up. So Krasinski and Damon were writing their movie together, which was about the fracking, and I can't remember
yeah,
that.
the one that shot in Pittsburgh.
Yeah. It was
The
Krasinski,
fracking.
Yeah.
I was like, Battlestar Galactica?
Yeah,
What?
so
No,
and
about the
yeah.
gas.
and they were
Oh.
taking they were taking a break, and Damon reveals this to him, and Krasinski starts walking around in circles, going, "Wait, okay. So you're telling me that if you would have taken this, your life would have been the same, like everything would have been the same, but our meeting would be in space right now." And it was like the greatest reaction. So I love
Do we
that
know
story.
why he turned it down?
For whatever reason, didn't want to do it. And then Damon did say, he's like, yeah, I guess he didn't want to do Avatar.
So
But
he
he's
also
like,
passed on The Fighter and Rescue Dawn too.
right.
Wow.
But he was saying something like, I didn't realize that Cameron has only done like 7 films at that point. So you got to get on it because he was filming Born Ultimatum.
Okay.
That was why he couldn't
Yeah.
do Avatar because he was scheduling something like that.
What it was?
Promised Land is.
Promised Land,
Yeah,
there
I've
it is.
seen that. Yeah,
So-
Scoot McNairy's in that one too.
I thought that
Yeah.
that was just one
That's
of
crazy.
those
Yeah.
stories.
That's a pretty
So-
crazy story.
Wow. Yes. Good movie.
Yeah, I mean, look, this shit happens all the time. I mean, Tom Selleck in another world is Indiana Jones.
Yep.
So it happens
who was
all the
it?
time.
Or Christopher Walken as Han Solo.
Right.
Sean Connery passing on Morpheus
Right.
and Gandalf.
Right.
Wait, who did?
Sean Connery.
Yeah. And then what did he take instead? He took something. Oh, the Avengers.
No. He took the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Yeah.
Isn't that the Avengers? So it's
What?
called?
No.
The Avengers.
No.
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 Something, is that a different movie?
The
No,
Avengers.
League of Extraordinary Gentlemen is based on a comic
So
book.
what's
It's
the
just called
Avengers?
that.
He's in that too, isn't he?
Well, that was the one with.
Yeah, but that was way before with Ray Fiennes
And
and
Uma Thurman.
Uma
Right,
Thurman.
but he's in
yeah.
that too.
I guess so.
Sean
Yeah,
Connery,
yeah.
yeah,
But that
yeah.
was before, I think.
When are they going to do that? They should reboot. That's one thing they should do well is League of Extraordinary
I think that they
Gentlemen.
talked about it. I think it's been talked.
I mean, that's basically Kingsman, right?
No,
No, it's
because
different.
it grabs a bunch of characters from different like horror books. Like you have Dracula's
Yeah.
wife, and you have Dorian Gray,
Dorian
and
Gray.
you have and you have I think
Hyde,
Tom
Jekyll and
Sawyer
Hyde.
or Huck Finn. I forget which one it is.
Yeah.
So this
Yeah.
was from
And they all come
June-
together.
Dorian
in
Gray
the
from 50 Shades of Grey?
No, like the portrait of
The
Dorian
portrait of
Gray.
Dorian Gray. He doesn't age because the photo that he keeps
The really famous book.
Well, anyway, June 19th.
Swinging a
Books.
miss on the Josh Man.
There's a report from June 19th that says the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen reboot movie was coming. That was from nerdmuch.com, whatever. I don't know what that is.
Nerd Munch or Nerd Munch? Like,
Much.
Nerd Much?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
Nerd Much. So
Yeah.
that's a report from back then. Can we click on that report? And
Was that a good movie, League of
No,
Extraordinary
it wasn't. But
It wasn't, but when I was a kid, I liked it.
Yeah.
I saw-
Well, it wasn't like the thing is, it was because he kept passing on it. Sean Connery was like, I got to get in on this like blockbuster thing.
Yeah.
And then he
Maybe.
picked the League of Extraordinary
Yeah,
Gentlemen.
but by then the good projects have
Yeah,
passed
it's been
him by.
tried
right?
as a TV series, didn't work out for that either. Yeah, so
But it's a really good comic book.
That's what they say.
Yeah, it's really good. I recommend. I think it's Alan Moore, right?
It is Alan Moore. Yeah,
Is
and
it
it's
like-
phenomenal. It's
Is it
great.
sort of like that? What's that show that just came out like 6 months ago with like the kids that are all have superpowers?
Oh, the Umbrella
yeah,
Academy.
yeah,
Umbrella Academy. Is it
Still
sort of
haven't
like
seen
that?
But it's taken more from like literary classics.
Yeah,
That's
Captain
what they
Nemo.
can- exactly, yeah.
That's right. Captain Nemo was in it. Who did he play? Oh, Alan Quartermain.
Right.
Okay,
It
so-
had a good cast.
Okay, so these are fake people. I'm just trying to get my head around this. It's fake people from literature, like from fiction, that are
Right.
now in a League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Correct.
That's it.
Yeah.
System
Pretty
just
cool.
went down.
Yeah, I figured it out.
Yeah, good job,
work.
Josh.
What's next, Ryan?
We have a interesting story that Tom Holland was actually very instrumental in getting Sony and Disney to talk it through.
What are the facts on this?
So Tom Holland knew, obviously all the fans came out and
Yeah.
in
Droves.
droves saying this or that, and he apparently also.
The fans don't have opinions. What are you talking about?
Get out of here.
As it turns out, Holland took that fan support straight to the top. THR says the actor was instrumental in bringing both sides back to the negotiation table, using leverage for his upcoming Uncharted movie at Sony's to convince Tom Rothman to re-engage with Disney. And then in a shocking move, Holland called Disney CEO Bob Iger, the biggest of bigwigs, and stressed how upset the fans were over the split.
Hey, Bob. It's me,
Can you
Bob.
imagine?
Wow.
So
Maybe
that was-
maybe he did his Rihanna umbrella dance for him, and
Maybe.
then that's how he
Maybe.
convinced him.
That's-
Because that would convince anyone.
That's going to go over pretty well with the fans, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Wait.
These guys are fucking
What is that
bad.
joke?
Oh,
What is
it's
it?
not a joke. Did
He
you
did
guys
that.
not
Yeah,
see
I saw
him
it.
do the
Yeah.
dance? So
Back in the day, it was
a
like-
lip sync battle, I think, was as a show.
Tom Holland did
Yes,
it?
Yeah.
and he dressed up like Rihanna and did the
Yeah.
dance. It was amazing.
Yeah, it was funny.
Interesting. Never seen
Really
this.
good.
Yes.
No, but him calling, I mean, that's kind of. He's never been under fire by the fans when it comes to
No.
being Spider-Man. Then everyone knew he was kind of in the crosshairs, and everyone knew that he was upset about it and that he wanted it to work. And this just proves to, I think, both sides too. It's not if you're just a Marvel fan, but if you're just a Spider-Man fan in general, that if you were engaged in that story, that him going to do that shows that he cares. He's not just one of these actors that's just taking the paycheck, right?
Right.
He gives a shit about it, and he cares about the fans, and I think that's going to go a long way.
But Spider-Man Far From Home, I think, just came out on DVD. I have not seen it. I need to
You guys
watch.
should see it.
Yeah,
It's
I need to.
good.
I need
You'd
to see
like it. It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just wonder like how seriously Bob Iger takes. Like, I wish that Bob Iger hadn't written his book yet, so he could like talk about the conversation he had with Tom Holland about Spider-Man. Because
Right.
like, you get a call from Tom Holland. What like does he just kind of plea his case to Bob Iger? Like, I mean, because he doesn't.
Probably ask them like, where, like, is it possible?
Right.
Yeah.
Because like, just like I mean, like the fans, like just being out there on the battlefield, like,
Yeah.
really like. For the franchise and everything that we've done, everything we've built, is there a way that this thing can happen? Like, you know, you see, it could be completely nothing like that, but you can see it
Right.
being something like that.
And do you think, I mean, because the way these reports work too, like how much, of this type of stuff is a myth as opposed to.
Well, where does this come from? Where does this come? I mean, how did
This
they
came
find
from THR.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I mean,
I have no idea how they found
Like,
it. Or
if it's nerd much, you gotta ask. Nothing against the site, it's just not as reputable as say like the Hollywood Reporter. Like so, someone from the Hollywood Reporter puts it out there. You say, okay, this is probably pretty legit, some inside source. It's not to say that Nerd Much doesn't have real sources. It's just it's the name. And when the Hollywood Reporter puts some stuff out there, you say, okay, this is probably pretty legit. Otherwise, I'm not going to make this story.
right. Yeah. THR. Yeah.
So,
I mean, no, I
Just
like
follow
him.
it
I
in
think
there.
he seems like a cool kid, and
how old
but
is he now?
obviously he also does benefit from being in both
Do he and Cody
yeah.
are he and Cody the same
companies.
age?
So.
he's 23.
23.
He's younger than Cody.
They're actually the same person.
Yeah, it's true.
That's true.
He's 23 years old. Yeah. The movie that I first caught notice of him was The Impossible.
The Impossible, yeah. I was going to say.
What's the Impossible
It's with
again?
him and Ewan McGregor and Naomi
Naomi
Watts about
Watts.
the
Tsunami.
Oh, it was a tsunami one. Yeah.
Yeah,
Is he the
so-
kid? Like, is he
Yeah.
their
He's
kid?
the kid.
Yeah.
Got it. Yeah.
It's so good. That movie.
Really good movie.
That movie is terrifying.
It's a look how young he is here. It's a you have to
Holy
watch.
shit, I wouldn't even know that was Tom Holland.
You got to watch. It's a one-time watch though. It's hard to watch.
Yeah.
It's hard to watch more than once.
If you like care about your family, like it is a really hard thing.
If
I'm
you're
like,
not kicking bouncy balls into
Yeah.
your 2-year-old's face.
Speaking of these types of movies with families, did you guys ever see Force Majeure?
Force Majeure.
I know
I
what it is,
highly
but-
recommend
yeah,
it.
what
It's
is
one
that?
of the best movies I've seen in the last few years.
Who's in
and
it?
it's basic. It's I forget what language it's in. It's a
it's
foreign
foreign.
film, but
Well, it makes
it
sense.
got really big here because it's basically a family that's in the snow in a resort.
Tormund's in it?
Yeah.
Oh,
and,
wow.
and they're in a ski resort, and there's an avalanche that happens while they're eating
Damn.
at a restaurant, and the dad leaves the family. Like, the dad saves himself, and he runs away.
Jeez, who's
and
the
then,
dad? Not Tormund.
This?
No.
Is it
He's
from
one of the
this?
friends, yeah.
Okay.
That's-
And
Is that the thing that
That's- yeah.
we thought that it was fake?
Yeah, well, they were showing, they were passing this shot off as like real news.
Yeah.
That like this is captured on video, and it obviously
movie.
it's from
we
the
just
movie.
learned that.
There
From
you
the
go.
Okay,
movie.
so Force Majeure. So then.
So the dad leaves them instead of helping the family get off, and then nothing happens. Nobody dies. It's just like there's an avalanche that happens, and so then the whole movie is them dealing with the aftermath of like the dad's a wuss and he
yeah,
left
he
us,
took off.
That's
and so it's
total
kind of
George
like a dark
Costanza move.
comedy. Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I
and
wanna see
Tormund
this.
is hilarious in it.
So it's a comedy. It's not a true
Well,
story.
but it's dark comedy, right?
Right.
Because it's family drama stuff. So,
But it's not like The Impossible where that. Really
but that's
happened.
actually
Died.
grandma drama.
Yes, it
Yeah, no,
happened.
really.
So it's kind of like what's this zombie movie coming out with Lupita Nyong'o? Where
Oh, the little something, little
Yeah.
Oh, the
Little monsters?
little monsters, I think.
yeah,
That's not the Littles.
we are the little.
We should play that same theme song. You have Where's Rodney? But you don't have the Littles. Oh, I think no Littles. All right, damn you.
Such a good song.
Now
All
that's
right,
gonna be
what,
stuck in
anything
my
else
head.
that we got here?
Yeah, this is. I can't believe this news isn't getting bigger coverage
that?
because there's a new copyright law that basically was uncovered in the what's his name, Victor Miller from Friday the 13th, the original Friday the 13th. There's a copyright thing that says that 35 years later, the original author of either the screenplay or the books can go back, gets the rights back. Almost like what's that called? It doesn't matter. So, anyways,
What's that called?
according to THR, the most notable titles now that are included in this 35-year lapse in the copyright are The Terminator, Die Hard, Beetlejuice, Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Yeah.
So those are the big names, right?
Meaning that those screenwriters now own the rights to that.
It's going to
Really?
revert back to them. So look at it this way. Dark Fate is coming out in November. If they want to make Skydance and Paramount, if they want to make a sequel to that, if this all goes through, Gale Ann Hurd and James Cameron now own the rights, and they're going to have to renegotiate with Gale Ann Hurd and James Cameron getting a lot more money, and the studio's now like, oh shit.
James Cameron just going to his
Yeah. I know. Why do you?
like if I was James Cameron, I'm like, all right, like guys, like just give me the same deal. I
Also,
already have
isn't
$1
he-
billion a day.
And he's also just got, how long is he going to be working on these sequels for Avatar?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's Gale Ann Hurd that
Right.
you look at as being
Yeah.
one of the writers, but there's some weirdness there where Cameron back in the day said no, she didn't write anything of the script, but she was a part of it.
Okay, but more
So,
importantly,
way to go,
like
Beetlejuice.
Good Will Hunting.
So Beetlejuice,
Yeah, so here,
what is this about
Hurd
Beetlejuice?
isn't alone in her quest to recapture rights. As author Gary K. Wolfe is looking to take back the rights to the book that became Disney's Who Framed Roger Rabbit, while the family of novelist Roderick Thorpe wants to terminate Fox's rights to the book Nothing Lasts Forever, which served as the basis of Die Hard. The same can be said of the heirs of Beetlejuice screenwriter Michael McDowell, who want to reclaim the character from Warner Brothers. A Nightmare on Elm Street and Predator are also subject to termination, along with the works from Stephen King and David Mamet. This came to a story where Stephen King was getting back the rights for the movie rights for Pet Sematary, and they rushed that remake into production because they didn't want to have to renegotiate
I
with
see.
Stephen King.
So that's why that came out early this year.
Right.
Okay.
So there is going
Tricky
to be
biz.
some interesting. The studios will have 2 years to exploit the rights once a termination notice is filed. They won't just lose the rights overnight. In fact, King filed a termination on Pet Sematary, as I just mentioned. THR sources caution the studios might be hesitant to greenlight anything under a legal cloud and that foreign rights can complicate matters. A U.S. termination law doesn't apply overseas. So we might see some different things happening with this nostalgia kind of reboot, direct sequel, all
Right.
these things that are happening because these big projects now, the
Going
studios
back
are
to
like,
lo-
shit.
Yeah,
I don't know.
lose some cash.
Like, I wonder if the original writer of Die Hard, right, doesn't like these sequels, and when he gets it back, he's like, I'm not going to give it back if you guys don't
Not to
make
Fox.
it good.
Going to do it to somebody else. That's
Yeah.
because
Unless you want money.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah,
saying. If
but
he
you
doesn't need money, or if he doesn't want money, I mean, I don't know anybody that
But
doesn't
some
want
of those
money,
creators are going to want to just take direct to characters because they don't feel like they've been handled right over the
Correct.
last. I mean, you look
Yeah.
at. I mean, I think John McClane is an excellent idea to get away from Fox at this point because it ain't working.
Right.
And they're going to bring Len Weissman in to do the prequel still. Is
Right.
that still happening? It's like Len Weissman movies have not been good at all.
What are the Len Weissman movies?
The Die Hard ones.
Oh.
He did. I don't know if he didn't do the last one. He didn't do the last one. I think he did. I think
And he did Underworld too, right?
Yeah, I think he. I think he
And
did
those
number
are
thr-
like
number
bad
4.
but fun.
Yeah.
Bad
I
but
like
fun,
those.
I think
yeah.
he did number 4, which was okay.
I didn't mind 4.
What's
Someone's
going on there?
Someone's at my front door.
Snyder and I were talking about this because Snyder was like, I don't know why there's not more news coverage on this, but he said because of streaming services and Netflix especially that just throws money,
Right.
like he's like, what if Dark Fate comes out and then the rights lapse and Netflix is like, here's a lot of money,
Right.
and then all of a sudden Terminator,
And they do a
the
series.
sequel is a series or whatever is on Netflix. I mean, it could shift a lot
Well,
within
and
the
there's been a
landscape.
series, and there's been a Terminator series before.
Not just that, just a sequel, just
No,
a
no, but I'm
movie.
just
Yeah,
saying there's
but
been a
yeah.
Sarah Connor
The Sarah
Chronicles.
Connor
Right,
Yeah, with Lena Headey.
Yeah.
And I look at it this way: I'm hoping that it can start to look at studios and not force them, but they could start going to more original like scripts that might be big blockbusters, potential new brands, potential
Right.
new franchises. Give other things that aren't just nostalgic reboots.
Right. Well,
and more to that. I don't know if that's going to happen, but.
I wonder what would happen. I mean, because I love Beetlejuice, I love Roger Rabbit, but these are classics, right? Like, and people talk about a Beetlejuice sequel, and they've been talking about it for a while. But like, what would you guys just leave it alone, or would you actually
Beetlejuice?
Either or? Because I think like Roger Rabbit is one of my favorite Disney movies. It's so great.
I think you could definitely do a sequel to Roger Rabbit. I don't think you reboot it. You can do a sequel
can
to
do
it
it
for
now.
sure.
But like that though, I would love to see the way they did it back in the day with animation.
Yeah. But there's so many new characters now that you could bring in because of Pixar. It's essentially Wreck-It Ralph, right? But you could do
But
it
live
that way.
action.
Live action. Well, it's a mixture. And then the other thing, as far as Beetlejuice, only if Michael Keaton was passionate about it.
Oh yeah. Because you can't have anybody else.
No other Beetlejuice. He's the only one that can do it. And even though I'm not a big Tim Burton fan, Tim Burton has to direct it.
Of course.
So I mean that's the thing because I think that
Well, it would also be Tim Burton not doing a Disney movie, right? Which would be different. Because I thought Big Eyes was good.
I didn't mind it.
Yeah.
I didn't mind it because
either.
it had less of it. See, that was the thing. I know that we definitely have strong opinions against one another when it comes to Batman Returns because I think Batman Returns minus Michelle Pfeiffer is just a Tim Burton movie. It's not a Batman movie.
It's a good Tim Burton movie.
And that's
The
and I
sexiest
think-
Batman movie.
I think that's an accurate statement. As the same conversation we've had about Shane Black, Iron Man 3, or Ryan Johnson, Last Jedi. It's a really good film in that person's body of work, but as what the property is, it just didn't work
Right.
for me. And I think that Tim Burton with Beetlejuice,
Pimp Burton.
opposite Pim Burton. Opposite. I think that his style works brilliantly for and made Beetlejuice what it is. So they
it's
have to do it.
So such a kooky, weird, amazing movie.
no
But
one else can do Frankenweenie.
But also that,
Yeah.
But also that cast though, right? That whole cast in Beetlejuice it's not just
Yeah.
Michael Keaton, like Catherine O'Hara,
Winona
like,
Ryder,
all
man.
those people are like you would have to bring everyone back, and everyone would have to be on board.
And she could, see, I don't think you need to have them though, as much as you need Burton and Keaton. Like, there's a way to find a new family, and
true.
there's something else you could do that. It would be great to have them, but you don't need them. Like,
Maybe as
and
cameos or-
yeah, like Winona Ryder could definitely still play Lydia Dietz. There's no doubt about it. But you don't need her. I think you need Burton, you need Keaton, or you can't do the movie.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
Keaton, like if you follow, I follow Keaton on Instagram. All he tweets about, or all he Instagrams about, is politics. It's just politics.
Oh, really?
That's why I had
does
to
he really?
unfollow him.
Yeah, because it's
I-
literally just like he's very, very left. Which,
he's more liberal than left.
Well, I mean,
It's the
same
same
thing.
No, it's
isn't it?
not.
No, it's not.
No,
He's extreme left.
no,
Is it?
No?
no. He was like supporting Biden. That's just like very centrist. So it's more liberal.
But
Yeah.
he's super liberal. But all he Instagrams about is politics and like sometimes a Pittsburgh sport. But like I don't know.
And
Too
whiskey.
much. That's not why
Yeah.
you're like, and I guess that's the debate we've been talking about forever. He has every right to do that. You have every right not to follow him.
No. I'm not saying that. I'm
No, I
saying
know you
like
are.
I wish that he was tweeting more about Beetlejuice.
I know. That's the main conversation. Is you're following these people hoping that that's what they're going to
Correct.
do
Yeah.
because that's what you like them for.
Yeah.
But he's not obligated to do
No,
that.
No,
right?
not at all.
You're not saying that he is, but I'm just saying. But you started following him because
Yeah.
you hope that you're going to see a picture of him in the fucking Beetlejuice.
I just not that. I just started following him because he's Michael Keaton, and he's like
Right.
probably the
Want
only
some fun
celebrity
stuff,
that
yeah.
I was following.
Well, like I
but-
started following Will Smith and Martin Lawrence because Will Smith posted this thing about like me trying to get Bad Boys 3 made over at Sony. It was him just like banging his head against the wall. I was like, oh,
Like me
so
as a
this is
kid.
a thing. Let me start following because as soon as he posts anything about Bad Boys, him, Will Smith or Martin Lawrence, 30 people Instagram me like, hey,
Right.
Yeah.
Check it out.
Josh McCouga,
Right.
which is amazing. And I because if they didn't, I wouldn't exactly know because sometimes you just miss posts
Right.
because
Yeah.
Instagram doesn't do friggin' timelines anymore. It's just whoever you like most.
That's
It's that
crazy.
algorithm. It's
I
so
didn't even know
stupid.
that.
That's
yeah.
pretty dumb.
Because like you
Dumb
see,
Dumb
I'll see-
algorithms.
I'll see Penn State posts about football games or Steelers posts about football games on a Wednesday. I'm like, guy, I like Instagram. It's a fucking lifetime sport. What's going on?
Right.
But that being said, the reason I started following Michael Keaton, I was like he's gonna have to post something about something here.
Yeah.
Right? And then it's literally just pictures because he lives in Montana. It's pictures of Montana. It's newspaper clippings that he just takes a picture of stuff from the New York Times.
To be fair, he was in Spotlight.
Yeah, he was. That's true. Well said, my
That's
man.
a great movie.
That's a great movie.
It's a
Yes.
great
I
movie.
love that movie.
And Birdman, he's the best.
Yeah.
He just
all
needs
right.
to not support Joe Biden. But anyways,
What's next?
Yeah. We have Marvel. It looks like Variety is reporting that Marvel TV is reportedly phasing out their live action TV to focus on animation because Marvel is being, going to Disney Plus where they're
Said
Pleasure.
it-
Thank you.
going directly to the MCU.
So you mean like you're talking about like
So
the
Agents of
Daredevil,
S.H.I.E.L.D., Daredevil,
all those
Ghost
things.
Rider.
Got it.
So the only thing left out there right now are the Runaways, Cloak and Dagger, and there's an upcoming Marvel property, Hellstrom, that's going to be coming out. So
Because they canceled Ghost Rider.
Yeah.
they canceled
they got rid
Ghost
of
Rider
that.
that was going to be on Hulu. Is that what
Hulu.
it is? Yeah.
And I bet you Kevin Feige had a lot to do with that.
Totally.
Yep.
Because
So
he wants Ghost Rider in the movies.
Or his own series.
Yeah.
Disney
that-
Plus,
whatever,
yeah, because what they're doing now, Disney Plus, obviously with Loki coming, WandaVision, Hawkeye, all these things, is connecting to the MCU. So
Yeah.
those are going to be their TV series. So anything that's going to come out, it looks like this is what Variety is saying. Whatever's going to come out is going to probably go to Disney Plus, connect to the MCU, and what we're going to get TV wise, I guess the run will finish out on Runaways, Cloak and Dagger. I don't know what Hellstrom is. Maybe you know more than I do.
This makes
I
a lot
don't
of
know.
sense to me because this is always the thing that I never, as a fan, always wanted continuity with everything, right? Because you can enjoy. You don't have to do that. Like in DC has done that. Whether it was Birds of Prey that doesn't connect to their movies, and Flash, which you had 2 Flashes. That was to me, it was just a lot. It was just confusing.
Makes sense.
Right. and then you have the animation, like Teen
yeah.
Titans and all this
But
other cool
DC's
stuff.
done it right because they have tons of views and people are watching all the shows, so they're doing it right on their end. I just, as a viewer, I want more continuity. I stopped watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. like immediately because not only because it wasn't great, but because
Dorian's yelling at you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Dorian and Thad are both yelling at
but
you.
it kind of connected, and then it didn't really.
Well, all you had was Clark
Did you watch
Gregg.
Agent
That's
Carter?
it.
Right, and but
That
he,
was good.
But even that wasn't. It wasn't even clear. Like
No.
he was supposed to be dead. He's not dead. He's
Right.
he's an alien. What the fuck is he? You know, it's like,
And same
Yeah.
with Peggy Carter. Agent
Agent
Carter first
Carter,
season
I
was
thought was
great.
good, yeah.
Second season was not very good, but they
Right.
kept her as a tie to the MCU. But it was also took place in the 50s, right after Captain America died. Like it wasn't a now movie.
Right. So if you connect it, especially after everything that happened from Endgame, and now you have all these series that are going to connect inside of the MCU, it is very smart for them to continue out their all their series on Disney Plus. It's their one platform. It's where you find it. And if you like it, then you get it. If not, then you just watch the movies, or you watch nothing and you watch something.
Here's the other problem that nobody's really mentioning in any of this stuff is that like I don't think Kevin Feige trusts Jeff Loeb as far as he can throw him because
Seems that way.
I mean, for all of his successes in the Netflix MCU, which was really, in my opinion, just one series,
The Daredevil,
right?
What?
Like Luke,
Jessica Jones is the best
the
one.
first
it's
season.
not.
The first season is
First
incredible.
season, it's fine.
It's the best.
It's okay. I don't know. There's something about Jessica Jones that I just.
Not like
I like Luke Cage. I actually like Luke Cage's and Jessica Jones's relationship way more than I liked their series. Like I liked Jessica Jones being in Luke Cage and vice versa. I thought, regardless, and then Iron Fist was a complete wash.
Well,
that
that
was a
was
total disaster, right? So
Jessica Jones to me, really quick, is one of the best shows, and I thought it was really cool that it was a superhero show that dealt with post-traumatic stress and trauma and disorder. Like that. That was amazing.
I don't disagree. I think
how
that
they handle it.
the first season of Jessica Jones is very good. I think the second season of Jessica Jones has no idea what it wants to be, and I
Right.
think the third season kind of brought it back a little bit, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's the same with all of those series. Is the second season of besides Daredevil, because you had Punisher, even though the second half of the second season of Daredevil was sucky.
I didn't like the Elektra stuff, but the Punisher stuff was
The
cool.
Punisher stuff was great. That should have been the whole season, in my opinion. But that's what you got from 13 episodes. And the fact that Jeff Loeb really couldn't keep it going through 13 episodes of television in all those series, he should have said, I want 10 or 8. Because Luke Cage had too many villains every season. You had too many villains in Daredevil. You had too many villains in Jessica Jones going forward. Now, Kevin Feige, listen, I don't have to deal with that. I can do 6 episodes on Disney Plus, and I don't have to worry about Jeff Loeb because I want all of this to tie in. I don't want the fans asking, well, is Daredevil going to appear in this?
Right.
He's given you this opportunity
Because they
to
didn't have
do
a
it.
platform, and now with Disney Plus, they have that. And the other question is, because Daredevil's got to show up in something, right?
Yes.
Now, if they do it, or if they do a separate movie, is it Charlie Cox, or do they go with somebody else?
I think they reboot.
You think
Yeah,
so?
I think they're going to.
Charlie Cox
and
was
I
so good.
So
he was so
perfect.
good, and I loved the Daredevil. That was the only show I watched was
Yeah.
the Daredevil one, but. It is such a huge. If you go to some, even Kevin Smith did a run on Daredevil. Brian Michael Bendis. Daredevil is one of my favorites in the comics, and it was great on Netflix. But Kevin Feige, I think, is going to, much like he did with Blade. You know, they made that announcement. Daredevil is coming to theaters
And they're gonna reboot
sooner or later.
Well,
and it's going to be
why
rebooted. I think.
So, because they want to tell his origin story, and they probably would have to reboot
Maybe,
it.
maybe.
Bring
Sure.
back Ben Affleck.
Well, here's the
That'd be
thing.
fun.
Garner?
I have
That'd be awkward.
I have 2 superhero guilty movie pleasures. One is Billy Zane's The Phantom. I talk about all the time.
Yeah.
I love
Say-
that effing
Dude,
movie.
that's so bad. I love it.
It's so great.
Yeah, it's
and
bad.
I love Ben Affleck's Daredevil. I
Have you
freaking
seen
love
the
it.
R-rated cut?
No, is it awesome?
It's fantastic.
I've never seen.
I
the
love
R-rated.
it.
I haven't seen. I didn't even know there was an R-rated.
I love it. It's great.
I didn't even know it
because
existed.
the first one, because but I still like the movie enough. But when they did the director's cut, whatever
Yeah.
that was, I think it's R-rated, but it might be just the director's cut. Whatever, it's great.
I
have
love
it.
Really?
Yeah.
You love
I
it?
love it.
love
Okay.
it.
Well,
You know who loves it too?
I'll watch it.
I'm going to
see
pull a
it.
Hollywood
Let me
moment.
see it, Niels.
Yeah, let's see this.
What goes on with the Niels?
Oh, they're pretty good.
Not
That's
bad.
good. Yeah.
Not bad.
I fucking cut him the other
See
day,
that
like
one.
3 days
Let's see
ago.
that one. Why is that one fisted
That
up?
one's.
It's good.
Oh yeah, I cut these, but not these.
Look, you do some
What
weird
about
shit.
your
your
mouth.
feet? Show us your feet.
No, I'm not
No,
doing
no,
that right now.
that's-
That's like I.
stinks.
So I had a pretty Hollywood moment though with
What'd you do?
Colin Farrell, right? So my buddy is friends with him, and so I met Colin Farrell. We were at this like small house party, whatever, and he was there hanging out, and we start talking, and he's like, "What do you do?" And I was like, "Tell him what I did," and I was like, "Man, I gotta be honest, I'm just like a giant movie fan, and I love that you in Daredevil." And he was like, "Are you fucking kidding?" Like I think he was upset, and I was like, "No, like for real. When you threw those paper clips to that dude's throat, that was fucking awesome." And he was like, all right. He was just kind of like, I don't think he really liked his role in Daredevil.
Did you
Like,
have a Chris Farley moment?
Oh,
Like,
totally.
remember when you were in
You're in that
Daredevil?
thing.
Remember?
You're in that one with that movie,
Yeah.
and
When
Ben
you
Affleck
had a
showed
bullseye
up.
on your
yeah.
forehead?
No, he was
Yeah.
going through some shit during that. I had a chance to interview him for Fandango.
Uh-huh.
When he walked in, first thing I said to him, I said, "Look, I know we're about to sit down here. It was for Fantastic Beasts,"
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, I had to let him know about the Mr. Banks. I said, if there was ever a performance that was robbed, you should have been nominated for that movie.
Yep.
I thought you were incredible. He's like, oh, thanks. That means a lot.
Yeah.
Because like that one to me, he is a very underrated actor. I know he's a big
100%.
star. I know he's a big celebrity, but he's a fantastic actor.
Without
Yeah.
him.
In Bruges, he's
In
Oh, Bruce,
Fucking
so
awesome.
good.
I mean, all of them.
So good. He was even that stupid movie that he was in. It was really bad, and Will Smith shows up as like the devil or something in it. It is
What
shit.
movie is that?
It's a Winter's Tale.
Winter's
I
Tale.
just-
It
yeah.
is an atrocious movie. It's atrocious. However, he's fucking great in it.
He gives 100%
And I
every
was-
time.
Yeah.
And I was so skeptical about, and I bring this up because I love that Fright Night remake. I was so skeptical about
Right.
that because Chris Sarandon is a god. He's amazing. He's like the sexiest vampire ever in a turtleneck eating a pear or an apple. But he did
Original
a
title of the movie.
yeah,
What's he in?
Fright Night.
And Princess Bride.
Yeah.
Oh, Chris Sarandon, and he's also the speaking voice of Jack Skellington.
Jack Skellington. Yeah.
Got it.
But
Okay. Got it.
but so I was very skeptical, and Colin Farrell actually did a pretty good job. He was
Well,
great in the Fright Night remake.
Without Colin Farrell, I mean, legitimately, season 2 of True Detective is unwatchable.
Oh yeah,
Like,
agreed.
without Colin Farrell,
Couldn't
it is
agree more.
unwatchable.
Yeah, he's always the best thing in a bad movie.
Yeah.
The only thing he actually, you know what? It wasn't that he was bad. I just didn't like his accent, and it didn't work. Was Dumbo.
Dumbo.
But listen, I mean, he was in Widow. He was in Widows. That's right. He was.
Yeah,
in
he was in Widows.
Roman
oh,
J.
and then
played the
that
politician.
depressing
That's
movie
right.
that's really
Beguiled.
good, The Lobster.
Lobster, actually, I
Killing
mean,
of a Sacred
depressing,
Deer.
but-
It's really
Solace. I
depressing,
mean,
but
what's
it's
all the
good.
shit he's been in Winter's Tale. Miss Julie, Save Mr. Banks, Epic, Dead Man Down, Seven Psychopaths. I like Seven Psychopaths. Good
I like that movie a lot.
Again, Total Recall.
Yeah.
It was not as bad as the remake. It shouldn't have been remade, but he was great in it.
Len
of course.
Weissman.
Dude, him
That's right.
him as the idiot kid
Horrible
in Horrible
Bosses.
Bosses.
Yeah.
With the bald cap,
Yep.
basically, with
way-
the comb over.
He was
and he's
in
the
Way
ninja.
Back. Oh, I'm thinking of the Way Back.
The
Yeah,
Way
Way Back. Crazy Heart. The dude was in some
And
crazy shit.
his cameo in Crazy Heart, yeah. And now he's in this trailer for.
Did you watch the Gentleman trailer?
for Guy Ritchie?
great.
Dude,
It's
awesome.
so great.
Yeah.
It is such a good trailer. He's in it.
I'm glad that
Hugh
we-
Grant
What
is
is
not
this
playing
movie?
Hugh Grant in this movie.
What is this?
By
It's
time.
Guy
Yeah.
Ritchie's next
Oh.
movie. It comes out January 24th, 2020.
Oh, wow.
And it's him going back to his roots of these like kind of
Like Snatch.
British
Yeah.
gangsters.
Oh,
Hugh
Snatch,
Grant
yeah.
looks amazing in this. Everything that
Lock,
Makuga
stock.
said.
Yep.
McConaughey looks great.
Yeah.
Everybody in this movie
I'm
looks
excited.
great.
Yeah,
So.
'cause-
Charlie Hunnam as
Charlie Hunnam.
as McConaughey's right hand man is fantastic. This trailer, first of all, if you don't have like the biggest Shaw collar budget, Guy Ritchie always has everybody in a Shaw collar sweater, and they all look badass. Like Mark Strong's Shaw collar at the end of what was the one before he started doing the Sherlock Holmes movies? Was it Layer Cake?
Maybe.
No.
No, that was
Matthew
Vaughn.
Oh, that was Matthew Vaughn.
Snatch?
No,
Matt-
Snatch was way longer.
Mark
Lock,
Strong.
Stock, and Two Smoking
Nah,
Barrels?
maybe it was
Rock
Layer
and
Cake.
Roller?
Anyway, Rock and Roller.
Rock and Roll.
Rock and Roll. Yeah.
Yes,
Rock and Roller was Guy Ritchie, and Rock and Roller was awesome.
Oh, Rock and Roller was fucking
Awesome. Naveed,
yeah.
Naveed worked in that. He was a
No
producer
shit.
on it,
Yeah. But dude, this trailer is everything you want from a Guy Ritchie movie. And think about January. You've got this movie, and then you've got Bad Boys for Life in the same
It's a big
month.
January.
It's a huge
good
January.
What are you gonna do, Josh?
I don't
Dance.
know.
He's just gonna dance.
Implode.
I mean, Universal needs to do a Halloween Bad Boys for Life night, and it's
You can
not,
host it.
It's in
Yep.
January.
All right, let's move on. We got any more stories? Is that it? Because if not, we'll open up the phone lines.
There's just a story that just broke as the Avengers Endgame Oscar push has begun.
I'm sure. Oh, so don't tell us yet. So this is what we thought. Remember, we had this conversation
Mm-hmm.
before. We thought that the push was going to be Robert Downey Jr. as Best Supporting Actor, and Russo.
You thought that.
A lot of people thought that.
Yeah.
Maybe not you,
No.
but a lot of people that was going to be
Yeah,
the
yeah.
push. And directors was what they were going to push for, not what they were going to get, what they were going to push for. So what do you think they're going to push for?
I think they're going to push for the obvious ones that they always do, like visual effects and sound and all that stuff.
You don't
But
think
I
they're
don't
gonna
think
push-
they're going to push for actors.
Wow. Okay.
I still think they're going to push for Best Picture for
Okay.
sure.
Oh, well,
yeah,
Plus,
yeah. So what are they pushing for?
They're pushing for Best Picture,
Yep.
Best Director,
Right.
Best Adapted Screenplay,
Yeah.
Best Cinematography,
And?
Best Original Score, Best Film Editing, Best Production Design, Best Costume Design, Best Makeup and Hairstyle, Best Sound Mixing, Best Sound Editing, and Best Visual Effects, and that's it.
Told you.
I was half right. I said Best Directors.
This is the thing that everybody's talking about, though.
Oh, go for
Everybody's saying no Robert Downey Jr. What the hell's going on?
Because,
Why aren't they pushing
dude,
for that?
look, Endgame was really cool. I really enjoyed it. There's
Yeah.
a lot of other movies that are better.
That's,
Sorry.
but
That's just-
that doesn't mean
Acting-wise?
Yes!
That's not. First of all, that's not
acting wise, yes.
That might even be accurate. That's not the conversation. The conversation is there's been way shitty movies that studios make a pitch for their actors to get nominated for. That's the conversation. It's not a matter of whether or not you
Right.
think that there are better performances, because there probably were. This is the biggest movie of all time, the money wise of all time.
Yep.
Then the studio's not pushing for their lead actor. It's bizarre. It's bizarre.
I'm kind of
well,
with you on that.
when's the last time that they did that? For what movie?
Vigo.
I mean, yeah. I mean, you look
Return of the
at
King?
a lot of. I mean,
I bring it up
You
all the
go
time.
back. I think that there might even be a push for. I don't know if there was a push for Daisy Ridley. I feel like there was. But I
Didn't
might
the
be wrong.
girl from the girl from Theoden right, from King Theoden. Didn't she get nominated for like
Return of
best
the King's
supporting
another
actress?
story, but I'm talking about movies that had no business even. That there was no chance they were going to get nominated for shit. And there's been people
But they
that
pushed
used to,
it.
yeah, they've been,
Actress.
they've been pushing.
Oscar winner Suicide Squad. Remember that?
Right, but that was for
Makeup.
soundtrack.
No, makeup.
Oh, makeup.
Yeah.
But
If you were right now, I know I'm putting you guys all on the spot, but of movies that you've seen this year so far, what is the best performance by an actor or actress? I guess
Judy.
Judy.
Oh, you
Renee
saw
Zellweger.
Judy already? Okay,
Hands
cool.
down. Right now, if the voting was today, no one's beating.
Actor? Anything? Well, I guess we're saying.
I mean,
Joaquin, right?
I
nobody's
haven't
seen
seen
them.
Joker
The
yet.
ones. Parasite was amazing. It's
What's
my
that?
favorite movie of the year. I just saw it Tuesday. That's why I haven't seen. That's why I'm seeing Joker today.
What is Parasite?
It's this movie that's a Korean movie by director Bong Joon-ho,
Okay, so
and it's the best movie of the year. It's I don't want to spoil it, but
Is he
it's
Snowpiercer? No.
yes.
Yes. What time are you seeing?
I got to see
Joker?
that movie then.
Tonight at 8, I think.
Is
What
it,
about
is
you?
it out in theaters now?
What?
It's out
Today.
in theaters.
Yeah.
Oh, it's out today.
Tonight.
Right on.
Today.
You're seeing it today too. I just want to see it so people will shut up.
Yeah. I want to see what the performance was too, so I can actually answer that question.
I am so like. I
No,
feel
that's
like,
true. People are talking about Joaquin.
I feel like if I don't see this movie, because I really don't want to see it in the theater, I really don't. If I don't see it, I'm just going to start. I'm not going to not hear about it for fucking ever, like you just said.
Yeah, you just gotta see it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Amanda
what
will
other
go see it.
performances though? I'm trying to think. So
Have you seen The Platform yet?
no. Who's
you
in?
would love it. It's my favorite 2 performances of the year.
Okay.
Favorite movie of the year. I can't pronounce their name because it's foreign.
Yeah.
It's like Emilio Boal and Zorion Aguilar.
The
You
Platform?
could probably do it.
The world would be amazing if I woke up and I heard that Keanu Reeves got nominated for John Wick 3.
Yeah.
That's all.
I don't think
effing
anyone
would.
would be mad about that.
I don't think anybody would either.
Because everyone
I don't
loves
think
him.
I mean,
Yeah.
the chemistry between Hobbs and Shaw alone
Totally.
should have been. They should
But
have
yeah.
like best chemistry. I guess that's like
That's
an MTV,
MTV.
movie award.
I'm trying to think of other movies. Like The Farewell had really good performances too.
Yeah.
I think all the ones, the
Peanut
main
Butter
ones that
Falcon.
you're not going to start seeing it. Shia LaBeouf and Peanut Butter Falcon
He
was
deserves
great.
it. Yeah.
I think from
Maybe even Dakota.
from the end of this month until December is when we're going to start talking about all the ones that
Is FYC started again? Is that up?
I think they
on the
start to.
channel?
I think they start getting ready around.
They've done like a special. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did Judy come out already? Or
Yeah.
why
Yeah,
did you say?
Judy's
Okay,
out. I saw the premiere.
I wanna see that.
a couple of weeks ago, but it was she's out of control.
I'm sure that's what I hear. Yeah.
She's so good. She's so good. 'Cause I've always been like a modest fan of her,
Mm-hmm.
but like she's always been Renee Zellweger. Not in this movie. She transforms and she sings just like Judy Garland.
Another thing, I think performances that might get nominated are Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Brad Pitt.
Yeah, he
Brad
was
Pitt's
really,
so good.
really
Pitt's
excellent.
great.
Not for Ad Astra, but for
He was good in Ad Astra.
Dad Astra.
Dad Astra.
Yeah, that's good. All right, let's see. Anything else? Or
No,
do you got
that's-
any-
we
you
covered
got-
it.
Do you have the phone calls ready to go or no?
I can.
No, let's do one of those. Let's do a phone call or two because we're going to go to break and we'll come back because we do have an announcement. The man himself, Mark Fernandez, will be in the studio at 11 o'clock.
Don't you think it's funny how long I've known him and that I just discovered he speaks Spanish a few months ago?
Is that true?
Yes.
His last name's Fernandez.
Yeah.
That doesn't really mean anything.
Yeah.
Look at Roka.
Wow.
So now we speak Spanish to each other.
I'm kidding.
Spoon
Great burn. That was a really good
Thank
burn.
you, sir.
That was
Appreciate it.
fantastic.
That's good.
But I also used to think his name was Rocha, but I guess he changed
Rocha?
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
not
right,
to
Cody,
be
let us know
cockroach.
when you got something. Hey, you're on Collider Live. Who do we got?
Hey guys, it's Jake
Hello.
from Diamond Bar.
What's going on,
Jake.
man? What do you got
Hello.
for us?
Hey, quick question for Dorina, and then I have another question.
Sure.
Okay.
Dorina, are you single?
I am in
Curious.
a non-traditional relationship.
That's a great answer.
Yeah.
Good soundbite. Good soundbite. Okay, good shot. You took- you took your
Happily
shot.
happily
Let me-
married.
Let me go to Bronxdale. Hey, he took a shot.
took a shot.
Took a shot.
Took a shot.
All right, what's next?
Yeah, we'll move on.
Jake Fire.
Do you think what is it? Ray in episode 9. Do you think she's gonna make her own lightsaber? All the promotion art shows her with Luke's lightsaber.
Yeah, I think they're finally going to do
You
something
think-
with that staff. I think that staff is finally
Yeah,
going to be
I
a
think it would
saber.
be cool to
Yeah.
get like another a new color or something.
Maybe.
You know, I think it'll be like.
I think it's gonna be
unique.
blue though. I think it's gonna be blue for the traditional carrying the.
So what's with this? She has the lightsaber back fixed.
Right.
It looks that way. Could
Yeah.
JJ be doing what he's doing with like, no, that's not Khan. That's John Harrison, and that it's digitally in there. But then when we see the movie, it's gone. It's been broken, and the new lightsaber.
No, I think because what he's talked about is that they went back through Force Awakens and Last Jedi for all the footage with Carrie Fisher. There was the scene that you saw in the trailer where Maz Kanata's handing the lightsaber over to Leia in that shot that they never used.
Right.
They could do a full scene where Maz Kanata put it back together. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
so you could figure it out. They could do a whole thing and handing it over to Leia. Maybe, maybe not. Have we heard if Lupita Nyong'o's coming back?
Yeah, she is.
She is.
She is.
They finally
This-
figured that out,
I
yeah.
think they're going to have that scene.
That
I
makes
think-
sense
yeah.
because it was in Force Awakens.
Yeah, and they just never used it. And I remember when we went to the celebration, went to Anaheim celebration, and everybody was losing their minds over that shot. We never saw it.
Right.
Just wait till you see our lightsaber work tomorrow in our
Something
video.
special.
Oh, yeah.
Move over,
Yeah.
Ray Park.
Yeah, here comes Makuga.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for the call, man.
Can I ask another one? Really
Sure,
quick?
sure. What you got?
Dorina's still
Do you
still
think,
in non-traditional.
JJ has the biggest task in history. He's closing out the Star Wars series. You know, it's a lot of pressure on him. You think he's got to do it?
Do I think
I mean,
he's-
I have high hopes, but
Yeah. Well, I think he's
Big
gonna.
task.
This is gonna be. There's. I use this term way different than other people do because some people get upset with the term of fan service. I think if done correctly, fan service is a very positive thing. I think that this will be a lot of fan service, and I think people will be very excited for it. I think it'll make a shit ton of money, so that's going to be a win for him. He's going to tie it up, and I think that as long as it feels like a Star Wars movie to most fans, it's a win. It doesn't because he's actually.
It doesn't need to be the best Star Wars
No.
movie. It just needs to be.
It needs to feel like a Star Wars movie.
exactly, yeah.
He's got less pressure this time around, even though people are like, well, shit, the Star Wars fandom's a little bit divided right now. He's working against this storm that people are kind of maybe getting tired of Star Wars. Yeah, but it's different.
I
because
actually think that the fact that the franchise is divided right now actually helps
I
him.
agree with you 100% because if it's just a fraction of good, then the fans are like, all right, that feels like Star Wars. I mean,
Exactly.
Fraction of good. That's a pretty good term.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's
Thank
pretty
you.
good.
Thank you.
What's that line in BBS? Batman v Superman?
Watch your ass, here I come.
No.
Oh.
Martha.
No, where he's like, if there's a 1% chance or something. That's a really funny dumb line.
Well,
Anyways.
all right, listen.
Nice work, Dorina.
We're
You
gonna,
crushed that.
It was
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
We're going to go to break.
Thank
When we get back, we will be making our announcement. Mark Fernandez will be joining us live in studio, ladies and gentlemen, after the break.
Hey guys, it's Perry here to let you know that Movie Talk is moving. We've had a great time in this 3 p.m. Pacific slot, but guess what? We want you to start your day with Collider Movie Talk, so we're moving. 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern. It's going to be a lot of fun. You're going to get a longer show with some brand new segments, so tune in starting Monday, September 16th, 9 a.m. Pacific. See you there.
Hey everyone, John Roca here, the host of Collider Sports Time. Well, you know, if you've been watching us
this is
every
John
week, you know we break down the latest and the greatest in the world of sports, talk about the big
this is
issues,
John
the
Roca.
big games, all of it with a rotating band of guests like Matt Ghost and Jock Kuga. We've had Taylor Bisciotti on. We've had so many great guests. Now, if you want to see more of Sports Time or you want to try it out for the first time, remember to subscribe to Collider Sports YouTube channel for all the sports goodness.
Hey guys, it's Reilly here. Let me tell you about the Reilly Roundtable. You know it, right? It drops every Thursday on Collider Conversations, and I have guests from all across the space. John Roca, Gray Drake, Alexander Desplat came on at one point. We talk everything from movies, we talk about life, and everything in between. What do you want to hear? What do you want to talk about? It's the Reilly Roundtable every Thursday on Collider Conversations. You get it there.
What's the next story
Hi, I'm Corey
on
John
the
Roca, host of
agenda?
Collider Heroes, and I'm here to tell you we've got 20-minute episodes coming at you on Collider Video, on the YouTube, as you've always loved it. Plus, now we've got hour-long podcasts dropping every Thursday, so make sure to subscribe to the podcast because it's going to get even more sweaty on the podcast. Plus, every week, we're going to try to get some very special guest interviews, all of the people that help shape these movies and TV shows you love. So, video, podcast, interviews, all coming at you. Be sure to subscribe. Thanks so much, guys. Stay sweaty.
Well, hello there. I'm Kat Knapsack, one of the hosts of Collider Jedi Council. And I'd like to invite you to listen to our show, watch our show. It's on every Thursdays on the Collider video channel, and it's also available in podcast form if you'd like to listen to our sweet voices on Collider Jedi Council, me, Christian Harloff, and a bevy of guests, I say, talk Star Wars. We celebrate Star Wars. We dig into the Star Wars news. We speculate everything about Star Wars, including your questions. So join us on Collider Jedi Council. You're going to have a great time.
What's up, Collider fans? Ryan Satin here from ProWrestlingSheet.com, where you can find the top stories throughout the week in the world of professional wrestling. If you're a wrestling fan like myself, then you'd be doing yourself a disservice by not checking out all the shows we do every week on YouTube.com/C/Wrestling Sheet. In particular, on Wednesdays, we've got a SmackDown recap show hosted by John Roca and myself, where we pick apart and talk about every little thing that happened on the Blue Brand. So do yourself a favor and go subscribe at youtube.com/C/Wrestling Sheet.
Hey guys, Reilly here, and let me tell you about Rule of Two. You looking for a Star Wars fix? Well, Rule of Two is that show. It drops on Collider Video's main YouTube channel, as well as on Podcast One's Jedi Council feed. So go over there, subscribe, share it with your friends. It's hosted by myself and Mark Fernandez. We talk everything in the Star Wars universe with a lot of deep dives and a lot of conversations that go all in. You know what to do. Subscribe, join us there, and rise.
Hey everyone, John Roca here, the host of Collider Mailbag. A new episode drops every Saturday and Sunday in your face and in your ears, answering the questions from you fans about the world of entertainment, film, and television. Me and great guests from our sphere do the best to answer your questions from Twitter, from Instagram, and of course, email as well every Saturday and Sunday.
Hello, how are you guys doing? I'm Christian Harloff. I'm the host of Collider Jedi Council. We talk about everything Star Wars. It's movie news, it's canon, it's all of it. We take questions from you guys. How do you do it? Main channel, that's right here. Subscribe to this channel. But if you want to just listen to it, you got the podcast feed too. Apple Podcasts, you can listen to it in your car. Do all of it. It's Star Wars. Episode 9's coming out, and then after Episode 9, you got TV shows, so we're going to be your sports center for Star Wars. Do it. Come on. Be real.
Hi, I'm Amy Dallin, one of the hosts of Collider Heroes, and starting right now, you can catch our show Tuesday nights with a new Collider Heroes and a longer Collider Heroes podcast, where Coy and I are gonna talk your ears off. You already know that's coming. So make sure to go to YouTube, subscribe, and find us on the Collider Heroes podcast feed for all of that sweaty goodness.
The Witching Hour is all over Collider right now. You can listen to that Horrorville podcast with myself, with Haley Fouch. We talk about witchiness, we talk about slashers, we talk about space horror, you name it, all on that show on the Collider Factory feed. And on top of that, you can find an article all about Witching Hour every single Tuesday on Collider.com. Check it out, get scared. Hopefully you survive the Witching Hour.
Coming back from break here, ladies and gentlemen, Collider Live on a Thursday, October 3rd. Still joined by Mark Reilly. Dorina and McCougar took a little bit of break. Joining us in studio, ladies and gentlemen, he is the man that runs the whole operation here. My buddy, my pal, Mark Fernandez. What's up, bud?
What's up? What's up? How are you guys?
Good. Do your thing.
Yeah. So Mark and I decided we're going to do this together here, talking to Collider Live and the whole damn audience here with Collider. So just bottom line, here's how it all went down, goes down, gonna happen. Around, I don't know, say 2 months or so, Fernandez and I sat down to talk about the future of Collider Live, the future of Jedi Council, and with me. And we looked like we were figuring some stuff out, and looked like schmo down everything. It looked like it was all going to go down. It looked like it was going to happen. And then we kept talking, and then one thing kind of led to another, and we just couldn't really see eye to eye on what was going down. And we're friends, we're businessmen, and we just decided that for what I think Collider's going for, I don't really fit into that particular vision at the moment. So as of November 1st, my last day for Collider will be November 1st. It'll be for Jedi Council, it'll be for Collider. And it's been a 5-year run when you combine it with AMC and sorry, get a little AMC and just Collider in general. I thank Amy Rose Eisenbach for bringing me into the fold, and then John Campia for both putting me on Movie Talk, and he and I kind of came up with Jedi Council, and then being able to, like, for you as a friend, kind of bringing me on and doing the being able to take what I had for Schmoes and turning it into Collider Live and creating this show. It's bittersweet, but it's still it's business, and I get it. But I just wanted, we were going to talk about it, and that's kind of how it is.
Yeah, and like, look, for me, just to give a little bit of the story, and this might be a little boring, but I think it's good to have some context. I used to run the video team over at Complex. My best friend Mark Echo started that business many years ago. And I was sitting in a mountain in Italy. It's actually a true story, pretty much semi-retired. And Mark Echo was like, come back to Complex, because I was there in the early days, but come back and help us run the video team. And when I took over the video team, we had just bought Collider.
From AMC, yeah.
No. We had just bought Collider, the site.
Okay. The site, yeah.
And a few months later, we went to AMC, and we got John Campia and Dennis Zen, and I believe Adam Smith. I think that was the original core team, And I didn't really pay much attention to Collider at first, and this movie talk thing that was going on. But sooner or later, I started paying a little bit more attention to it, and I started coming out here, and I got a chance to meet Christian, face to face, because back in the old Collider offices, the Schmoes No Guys, Christian and Mark, had kind of this little back office there, where they were doing their their shows and stuff like that, but also being on Movie Talk and Jedi Council and stuff like that. And I was immediately taken by Christian, and by Ellis. But Christian's one of these great talents, and as as we sold Complex to Verizon, I decided to buy Collider, and I bought Collider in large part because of Christian, and I think Christian knows that, and he and I have spoken a lot about that. But Christian, in my opinion, is a wild horse, and horses need to run, Christian came to me. I'll never forget. He came to me with an idea to do the Schmodown, he was like a movie trivia show that's like wrestling. I'm telling you, it's going to work. And I was like, I didn't see it in my head right away, but it was Christian pitching it, so I was like, I'm in. To the point, when I've always brought this up, because I take great pride in this, that I was actually the very first contestant ever filmed in the new version of the Schmodown at Collider. Yeah. It was me and Makuga.
Yeah. You and Campia were very you guys took the idea and you trusted me with it for sure.
Yeah. And look, obviously what the Schmodown has become, it's become a national phenomenon, and and it has some incredible hardcore fans. And look, fast forward to about maybe a year ago, I think it was. Where it was like the Schmodown was starting to reach a certain critical mass, because the Schmodown was on Collider, and it films here in the Collider studios, and it's it still does, but it was on Collider, and it was reaching such a critical mass with all your great Patreon subscribers and all the support you were getting there and all the support you were getting on the live show, that you were like, look, I think it's time I take the Schmodown and put it back on the Schmoes, channel, what used to be the Schmoes channel, which is now, I think, the Schmodown channel.
Right.
How all that is growing, and then at that point, because Christian was my head of development, he was in a full-time capacity as the head of development, running all the shows, because look, ultimately, what it boils down to is, and I know a lot of the audience must think this or that or whatever, but when you're on this side of the table, like when you're inside this room, it's hard to tell, because people always want to jump towards rivalries, but it's really about seeing people succeed, You know, like to me, I get such a kick out of that. You know, I've run so many companies in my life, and to me, like, I look back at the early days of Complex and see how many of those people now are super successful. You know, I look at Complex when we did the first episode of Hot Ones, you know, with Tony Yayo, and seeing where Hot Ones is now. It's on friggin' Jimmy Fallon. You know, it's like. It's good. It feels good to see things grow, you know? So, you know, for me, the way that I look at this situation is that I like the idea of taking Collider into very experimental areas, you know? That's kind of my thing. I like to experiment, you know? I don't mind failing at things as long as I get some data. You know, I like experimenting with this deep fake stuff, and there's a lot more of that coming down the pike. I like experimenting with this VR stuff, and there's a lot of VR coming down the pike. And look, and Christian is launching a full-blown network, you know, the Schmodown Entertainment Network. And like I've seen the show on Tuesday a few times, but I know you got a bunch of other stuff slated out. And like, you know, my hope, and I think Christian and I are on the same page on this, is that this isn't the end of the track. You know, Christian is, you know, the Schmodown as of now is still shooting here. You know, I know it goes, you know, you guys take a little hiatus and it comes back in February. And, you know, just like Mark Ellis, like, you know, my hope is that this is an open door policy. You know, this place is, the doors are always open to Christian. You know, it's an honor anytime he hops on one of our videos. He is, you know, he's the last of the sort of that original crew, you know, of like John Campia and John Schnepp, you know, the great late John Schnepp, rest in peace. Mark Ellis, you know, like those guys, you know, that was a special crew, you know. And like, you know, Army Buddy's got to move on, you know, and like that's where we are now. But the story's not written yet. But I wanted to have an early kind of announcement for this because I think it's really important, not only for the audience but for us internally, to give Christian the respect and the honor that he deserves as our guy, you know, and like, you know, kind of like I know you're a Yankee fan, so I always see this vision of Wade Boggs, you know, riding the horse, you know, like around Yankee Stadium when the Yankees finally won that series in '96. And look, it's bittersweet for sure, you know. But look, I think it's something that hopefully will, in the long run, turn out great for all of us because it's all about, you know, keeping the relationship, you know, having the open door policy. And, you know, having the Schmodown here, still having that little taste. And then, look, maybe one day Christian and I, you know, and Christian knows I talk to us about this all the time. It's like, you know, how can I wiggle my way into that Schmodown? You know, I've always loved the Schmodown as a product, you know, not so much as a competitor because I'd get my ass whooped, even though I did beat Makuga in that first one. Right. You know, so anyway, look, I know I'm a little bit rambling on, but look, there's a lot of thoughts
one
here.
of the things that, you know, like you said, that there is no rivalry at all. You're 100% right about that. Like even when you sat down, we couldn't figure it out, and we said that's just how it goes. We're friends, and we've been colleagues for a long time. This has been my family for 5 years. I'm very proud of what I was able to build with Jedi Council and with Collider Live and with all the other things that I've been able to do here, and the audience that we've kind of nurtured here and shit. I thank you for. There are a lot of people that would, because my whole crew, Gobster, Christian, Cody, Reilly, Makuga, Roka, they're all here, and that's because you trusted me enough to say, okay, these are good workers and these are people that you trust, that I want to see how this works here. And they have, and they've all proven it because they're hardcore. Even when Kenny was here too, like it's that type of thing, and that is what they'll continue to do. And I guess that's another probably question that's probably going to come up is as far as Collider Live and Jedi Council. Collider Live will continue to go on. It's going to be at the moment. You correct me if it's Makuga, Reilly, and Roxy will be running the ship.
That's correct. Yeah.
And then for Jedi Council, Ken will be hosting.
Mm-hmm.
So, and just to let people know, I'll still be doing my thing. Like for me, like you said, I don't have it in me to not do something.
You and I are cut from the same cloth from that perspective. We're both entrepreneurs.
Right. So I need to figure out, like, I have ideas of what I'm going to do, what I want to do. I just have to put it in because, like you know what I got a family too, so I got to figure out how to put food in their mouths and make it work all the way through. So I'm going to do that, and I'll be talking to the fans and everybody else too. And you'll be, if you follow me on Twitter and everything, to the Facebook group, and we've talked about this too. The Facebook group, if you didn't know that already, that was my group, which was Schmoville. That will then turn into my group. Collider Live will have the Facebook page that we've already set up. That'll all change today, but you'll hear, what I'm doing, and you also follow what Reilly and Makuga and Roxy are doing, and that's the other thing, like Mark mentioned. November 1st is my last day at Collider. It's not a funeral leading up to November 1st. It's a celebration. And what we'll be doing leading up to November 1st is having the same shows that we have been having. We're going to be having fun. We're going to be creating new memories, new sound bites. We're going to be having a lot of fun. And we'll just do it all the way through. We want you guys to join us with us. And we want you guys to, continue on the ride. Like I said, follow me where I'm going. Stick with these guys. Do it. Do both. Do both. And we're going to be having a lot of fun. I'm going to have a lot of exciting announcements. They're going to have a lot of exciting announcements. We're going to be like, this wasn't one of those things like, okay, I'm here, go fuck yourself. It wasn't one of those things. It was like, it was a shake of the hand. We figured it out, and we're sitting here talking to one another like gentlemen, and we're doing it in front of you guys.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. So join us. And I have to say, and we'll probably do this again on November 1st, but I thank you guys first and foremost through supporting me here through the good and the bad. I thank, once again, Amy Rose and John Campia for bringing me into this thing, for the late, great John Schnepp, for Mark Ellis, for the crew, for Sinead and Ashley and that old school crew, what we built on this video channel, so it was possible for Complex to buy Collider. And I thank my crew of Cody and Christian and Reilly and Makuga and those guys, Roka, who came over from Schmoes and helped us over here build it to what it was. And we'll have a lot of these conversations. This is not the last before November 1st, but thank you to everyone for the ride that has been Collider and AMC, because it's really one and the same. These last couple of years have been something special, and I thank you for being supporting me and trusting in my vision, whether I was running development and content for you or whether I was just saying, hey, I want to do this crazy morning radio show where we can just it's balls to the wall and we can do whatever we want. Not once did you ever say, don't do that. Yeah. Not once did you ever call me in and say, don't do that, just make sure. And you trusted my vision, and I think because of it, you've seen benefits on the Collider Live channel and what Collider Live has done.
Absolutely. Like safe broadcasting is bad broadcasting, and something that I trust Christian explicitly in is the fact that I know that he's not safe. And I know that sounds weird saying it like that, but it's his greatest gift, and replacing that is impossible. It's absolutely impossible. And look, the show, I think, post November 1st is in good hands with Josh, Reilly, Roxy. I mean, these are, to use a little Star Warsy thing, these are true apprentices to a master that I think are ready, to swing their lightsabers, with their own merit. Look, this is a very fluid space, the YouTube space. And like I've said this a little bit on Roulette 2, and we got a bunch of weird messages because of it. But the YouTube space is a disaster. It's an absolute disaster when it comes to artists like Christian, like us, like anybody, trying to make a living out of it. And that's why, I was so impressed with Christian, with the amount of support that he was able to get on Patreon for the Schmodown, and support that is ongoing. That's giving him the ability.
I need the support more so than ever now. So make sure you go on over to the Schmodown Patreon, sign up to that.
Hey, look, because it's a real thing, though. It's a real thing. It's rough out there. It's really rough out there. Yeah. And the only reason that any of this stuff works is because of you. So it's not about. One of the smartest things my grandfather ever told me, rest his soul, is I was going to a video game store and I didn't know whether to buy the Nintendo Entertainment System or the Sega Master System. And he told me, and I'll never friggin' forget this, he said, "It's why do you have to choose? It's not about either or. You know, he said this in Spanish. It's about both and. You know, so it's not about like whether Campia or us. I mean, Campia's great. We're good. We're great. What does it have to choose? There is no need for choice. God willing, Christian launches his own thing. You don't have to choose us or him. It's both of us. I mean, we see each other on a daily basis. We're not making choices about either or. Right. So I don't think the audience should either. And look, and it's tough. It's so easy these days, and I hope I'm not getting a little too philosophical here, but it's so easy these days to want to pick sides, and that creates divide, right? Like naturally it creates divide. It's not about choosing sides. It's about embracing the culture of fandom, of people that love movies, love Star Wars, love talking about it. And, we all have something to offer. You know what I mean? So it's not about like, oh, now I got to make a choice about what team I'm on. We're all in the same team, And anyway, that's a bit of a larger thing, but it's something that kind of bothers me. Like, oh, do you like Screen Junkies or Collider or like this one? Like, you can like all of them. Yeah. And anyway, my point in saying all of that is, from the bottom of my heart, I think that I've supported Christian for a long time. I supported, Campia. I still think Campia's show is great. I watch it sometimes. I have no problem with it. I think it's great. I want Christian to flourish because if Christian flourishes, it makes everybody look better in this space. It creates more opportunity in this space. Anyway, I honestly mean that, and I hope that the future is bright for all of us because we're all going to have to figure out what the heck we do. Right.
Well, I will say that again. Thank you for that, and thank you guys, and again, thank you, Reilly. Reilly is one of my best friends in the world, and has run this show, and he'll continue to do a great job running it. And like Mark said, I'm going to be doing my own thing, and I hope that you guys will come with me, and stay and also support Collider Live, support all the great shows that they have over here too. But like Mark said, it will be leaning on you guys. So it's patreon.com/schmodown. But there's also, you want to go to the YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/theschmodown, and support me over there. We'll be doing a lot of things. I'll have more information and news about that as the weeks go on. My priority is to end my run here and to do Mark Fernandez proud, to do my friends and colleagues proud, and to do you proud, to make sure that we put on the best things. I don't want you guys watching the last month of this show going, oh, it's Christian, he's phoning it in. He doesn't really care anymore, because you're not going to see that. You're going to see putting in the best ever. I'm going to have some fun, because these are my friends that I talk to every day. Yeah. These are the reason that the show has been entertaining, and the reason that when we do go to the live events and you guys are coming up to us going, oh my God, I love Collider Live and I love all these things you're doing, is because you feel like you're part of the conversation. I've told you this a million times. I just got... And maybe this is a fault of mine, is that I get tired of just like, if I'm sitting around going, here's the news story, blah, 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 blah. What do you think there, Jeff? What do you think there, Sam? And it's just never been my thing. So when I can do this, to me, this is raw and honest, and we're having a conversation like this. We could have done this in your office, right? But we're doing this in front of the crowd, in the audience, because they deserve that. They like that. They understand that. They respond to it, whether it's, you'll see passionate responses today. There'll be some people, like you said, that are good for you guys, and there'll be other people who don't get it. Yeah, it's part of what we do, but that's what I love. That's what I love, and that's why Rule of Two works so well, because it's you guys having an honest conversation about it too. I think one of the reasons is that what it used to be back in the day with 2012, 2013. I think those days of the panel shows. I think it's evolving, and I think that's what we're all trying to do.
Yeah. We're all trying to. We're all trying to find success, and success hides in many, under many different rocks. But I know you've been itching to say something. Do you have any thoughts?
You guys have said it all. I mean, this is one of those moments that is hard for me as well, because Christian said it. I mean, this man's going to be my wedding. I've known him that long. And so for him to go off...
I'm not, by the way.
You're not yet. But Fernandez, we have a little bit of time here to... sorry, thank you, Cody. You know,
Cody, are you at the
we'll
wedding?
We'll see
I
how.
don't think so.
Yeah, okay, I'm with you. Cody, you and I will hang out that weekend with your kid.
Hell, I haven't even thrown out the invitations yet.
He meant in the party.
He's
You're going to be at
he's in the
you're
wedding.
gonna be
He's
at
going to
the-
stand up there with me.
Yeah, of course,
Here's my
of course.
point.
He's one of your groomsmen.
He's one of my
your
groomsmen.
Yeah.
Because he is one of my best friends in the world. Been doing this with him for forever. And I support what he wants to do as well. And I know about everything that he's looking to do. And I know that he's going to make a success of it. That's what Christian does. When Christian ever says, I'm going to do this, I go, yep, I know it's going to be a success. The thing that's now on us is to watch him do that and also do our job, which is what I'm excited about as well. I'm excited for him because I'm going to be talking to him every day as well. But we have Collider Live, which I love. And we have a good crew, which I love. I respect the hell out of you, Fernandez, that you're giving us this chance to do this. And I know that Josh and Roxy, we've had the conversation. We're very, very excited to keep going. You say that the goal here is to succeed. I also say it's to entertain and to be a voice out there that everybody can come to, because it's a fucking weird world out there right now. And if we can just make you smile a little bit from 10 to 12 on Collider Live with people that you know and love and new people coming in, continuing to do this, interviews all across the board, then more power to all of us, including Christian. I'm going to miss the hell out of you, my friend.
Here.
Same here. And just to rehash one more time, the November 1st will be my last official day at Collider, and I think October 31st, Halloween, will be my last Jedi Council. And you know, like Mark said, and you don't mind me saying this, we talked about it too. Of course, I'll be talking about Star Wars on my channel. Of course, I'll be doing those things. That's what I do.
Yeah.
And you guys, you should watch Jedi Council. You should watch my show. You should do whatever you want to do, and you should support it. But we're going to be doing a lot because, like I said, I have this is fun for me. This is something I enjoy doing. This is something that has been my career, and this is something now that that's all I know how to do. So I've got to kick into a different kind of gear now. It's almost like what I did with Mark back in like 2008, because we were talking about that trip in Alaska where, you know, you're out there, you don't know what to do. You just kind of you can either say, oh, I can go get an office job and do this, or you take the bull by the horns and you just try to ride it. Either fall off and break your back, or you become the best bull rider in the world. So that's kind of what that's my next adventure, and I tackle it. And I hope you guys will come and come with me, and we'll do some fun stuff together. And then I'll come in and I'll be a guest on this show, which will be fun.
Of course. You know, and now you can get on Rule of Two more, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, look, but I'm excited about this rest of this month. I know Christian will bring it, and you know, and for sure we'll be talking about this again, having a little bit more, you know, retrospective type stuff. Because look, I honestly do feel that, you know, this is a huge loss for us, but it's also a victory, you know, for Christian in a way, and you know, and we deserve to honor those 5 years. I mean, 5 years is a long time.
I'm busting my ass for it. All right. Well, with that, guys, thank you to Mark Fernandez. Thank you to Mark Reilly. And thank you all of you guys. Thank you to Cody and all my friends here. And this is not, like I said, November 1st will probably be the real emotional one. So we don't need to do that yet. We got about a month before. So follow us on these this last month of shows. And the easiest thing I can tell you, it's just spelled patreon.com/schmodown. All right, guys, we'll see you. We'll see you after the break.
Yeah.
Bye.
All right, let's take a look in the chats. You know, oh my God!
Hey guys, it's Perry here to let you know that Movie Talk is moving. We've had a great time in this 3 p.m. Pacific slot, but guess what? We want you to start your day with Collider Movie Talk, so we're moving. 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern. It's going to be a lot of fun. You're going to get a longer show with some brand new segments, so tune in starting Monday, September 16th, 9 a.m. Pacific. See you there.
Hey everyone, John Roca here, the host of Collider Sports Time. Well, if you've been watching us every week, we break down the latest and the greatest in the world of sports, talk about the big issues, the big games, all of it with a rotating band of guests like Matt Nose and Josh McCouga. We've had Taylor Bashadi on. We've had so many great guests. Now, if you want to see more of Sports Time or you want to try it out for the first time, remember to subscribe to the Collider Sports YouTube channel for all the sports goodness.
Hey guys, it's Reilly here. Let me tell you about the Reilly Roundtable. You know it, right? It drops every Thursday on Collider Conversations, and I have guests from all across the space. John Roca, Gray Drake, Alexander Desplat came on at one point. We talk everything from movies, we talk about life, and everything in between. What do you want to hear? What do you want to talk about? It's the Reilly Roundtable every Thursday on Collider Conversations. You get it there.
Hi, I'm Coy Jandro, host of Collider Heroes, and I'm here to tell you we've got 20-minute episodes coming at you on Collider Video, on the YouTube, as you've always loved it. Plus, now we've got hour-long podcasts dropping every Thursday, so make sure to subscribe to the podcast because it's going to get even more sweaty on the podcast. Plus, every week, we're going to try to get some very special guest interviews, all of the people that help shape these movies and TV shows you love. So, video, podcast, interviews, all coming at you. Be sure to subscribe. Thanks so much, guys. Stay sweaty.
Well, hello there. I'm Ken Knapsack, one of the hosts of Collider Jedi Council, and I'd like to invite you to listen to our show, watch our show. It's on every Thursdays on the Collider Video channel, and it's also available in podcast form if you'd like to listen to our sweet voices on Collider Jedi Council, me, Christian Harloff, and a bevy of guests,
bevy of
talk
guests.
Star Wars. We celebrate Star Wars. We dig into the Star Wars news. We speculate everything about Star Wars, including your questions.
Wow.
So join us on Collider Jedi Council. You're going to have a great time.
What's up, Collider fans? Ryan Satin here from ProWrestlingSheet.com, where you can find the top stories throughout the week in the world of professional wrestling. If you're a wrestling fan like myself, then you'd be doing yourself a disservice by not checking out all the shows we do every week on YouTube.com/C/Wrestling Sheet. In particular, on Wednesdays, we've got a SmackDown recap show hosted by John Roca and myself, where we pick apart and talk about every little thing that happened on the Blue brand. So do yourself a favor and go subscribe at youtube.com/C/Wrestling Sheet.
Okay.
Hey guys, Reilly here, and let me tell you about Rule of Two. You looking for a Star Wars fix? Well, Rule of Two is that show. It drops on Collider Video's main YouTube channel, as well as on Podcast One's Jedi Council feed. So go over there, subscribe, share it with your friends. It's hosted by myself and Mark Fernandez. We talk everything in the Star Wars universe with a lot of deep dives and a lot of conversations that go all in. You know what to do. Subscribe, join us there, and rise.
Hey everyone, John Roca here, the host of Collider Mailbag. A new episode drops every Saturday and Sunday in your face and in your ears, answering the questions from you fans about the world of entertainment, film, and television. Me and great guests from our sphere do the best to answer your questions from Twitter, from Instagram, and of course, email as well every Saturday and Sunday.
And I want it now.
Hello, how are you guys doing? I'm Christian Harloff. I'm the host of Collider Jedi Council. We talk about everything Star Wars. It's movie news, it's canon, it's all of it. We take questions from you guys. How do you do it? Main channel, that's right here. Subscribe to this channel. But if you want to just listen to it, you got the podcast feed too. Apple Podcasts, you can listen to it in your car. Do all of it. It's Star Wars. Episode 9's coming out. And then after Episode 9, you got TV shows. So we're going to be your sports center for Star Wars. Do it. Come on. Be real.
Hi, I'm Amy Dallin, one of the hosts of Collider Heroes, and starting right now, you can catch our show Tuesday nights with a new Collider Heroes and a longer Collider Heroes podcast, where Coy and I are going to talk your ears off. You already know that's coming. So make sure to go to YouTube, subscribe, and find us on the Collider Heroes podcast feed for all of that sweaty goodness.
The Witching Hour is all over Collider right now. You can listen to that horror-filled podcast with myself, with Haley Fouch. We talk about witchiness, we talk about slashers, we talk about space horror, you name it, all on that show on the Collider Factory feed. And on top of that, you can find an article all about Witching Hour every single Tuesday on Collider.com. Check it out, get scared. Hopefully you survive the Witching Hour.
Nothing to see here. Nothing to see here.
Keep moving.
We'll keep moving.
Wait, what happened? No.
You guys took a long bathroom break. I'll tell you that.
We
Boy, you were
did.
gone, man.
I actually left and they made me come back. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, it's true. You have to come back. No, I mean, listen. I know Josh and Dorina wanted to say some stuff too. So obviously. we had Mark Fernandez in here, and I'll just reiterate the same thing that I said to Reilly that I'll say to you guys. McCouga and I have been hanging together now since 2012. We're about as we literally are brothers who will yell at each other, will laugh with each other, we'll talk shit about each other,
Fart on each other,
everything. But we're ride or die. We've been together for a long time, and I said to him recently, it's funny too, because after we were talking about this last week about how we were bummed, that it all went down. But I said to Josh, I'm like, it sucks because we were finally we were really vibing recently on this show, the two of us. But it happens, and it's just part of the business. And I love McCouga, and we'll be doing some stuff too. And everybody will still be involved with the Schmodown, and that was one of the main things that I talked to with Fernandez. So that's all
I need
happening.
a belt, man.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So and not
I
only
don't need a belt. I just need a microphone to yell into.
and you'll have that. But Dorina's another person I'm so glad that I was able to bring you in to this, because from meeting you over on just that day at the Force Awakens, man, having and we just vibe. You and I, we get each other. We have a good sense of humor, and we'll be doing a lot together. There's no doubt about that. So.
Me, on the other hand, not a fan of Dorina. Mostly because she keeps trying to
Josh
scare
and
me
I
and kill
can't be
me.
on the same show anymore. No, I'm kidding. No, actually, I heard some people were asking if I'm leaving because you guys didn't mention me.
Right.
But first of all, Christian's the one that convinced me to be on the show. I was always a behind the scenes. I'm more of a producer, artist manager. I do other stuff. And so I was kind of hesitant because this is, I don't like people watching me. But I've gotten used to it, and I'm thankful for the opportunity, and I love all of you guys. The reason I said yes was because of the people here.
Yeah.
And everybody I met through Collider is amazing. I consider you guys my friends. And so thank you, Christian, for bringing me. And I'm not going anywhere so far. But I also am excited for you because I know people, don't like change, but change is good. And eventually you got to evolve and do other stuff. And I think that, I'm excited to see where the Schmodown's going to go. I'm excited to see what else you're going to do. And I think this is good for you in general. And change can be good for all of us. So I am thankful and excited for everyone. And as much as I'll be sad that you won't be here every day.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. I fucking hate change.
I mean, it's listen, I don't know. I mean, it's very hard, obviously. I mean, this show has been, when you and Mark started Schmoes, you were cool enough to bring 3 people with you, right? And it was me, Mark, and Ken. And when the Schmoes know, really, when we first started at Toad Hop, we were all very young and not knowing what this would turn into. And then, obviously, as Collider kind of took us on, we started talking on microphones more and more. The Schmoes Know Show became this, almost like an afterthought. And I don't want to call it like that, but we were doing so many other shows together that it never. And then we got this, and it felt like Schmoes Know days,
school,
right?
yeah.
And it's a blast. It's coming in here every day has always been super fun because, like you said in the last half hour, because I was watching, like you said, is because there was we didn't pull any punches. We just made a fucking show, and we had door slams and we had scary shit, and I called out Roxy one time, and we've had our sound bites and Cody crushing it, and we've formed this family in here. It's not going anywhere. It just so happens that you are now on your own network, and we'll all do shows again together. There's no bad blood. There's no ill will. It's just. It's fucking show business, man. And sometimes it just blows. And
you can't do the same thing forever.
It's true. And Christian, I know for a fact, the most thing he's looking forward to is not doing this drive every morning.
Well, I got to be honest. When I had the conversation with Fernandez, the first thing in my head wasn't, well, what do I do now? Which it was, I don't have to drive to Burbank. that was my first thought. And then my second thought was, okay, then I got to put this thing into 100 miles an hour.
Right.
And I will. I will put it in 100 miles an hour. And again, I hope that everybody out there watches and continues to watch Collider Live and do everything that you're going to do to support these fine people here. And come and support me. And if you haven't already subscribed to the Schmodown channel, please do, because that's where all the stuff's going to be. And I'll be, like I said, on that network. I'll be relying on you guys. So join me over there and support these guys over here. But we will, I know that the fans are out there and they want to have their voices heard too. So you guys can call in, and we have the phone lines open. And we'll do that because, we can just switch into news now. Kind of weird. We talked about news anyway. So we'll put the phone lines in, and we'll hear from you guys. And just to reiterate, November 1st it's just about a month away. We got a lot of shows left. We're gonna do a lot of. There's gonna be a lot of like fun memories and things that we're gonna do and conversations we're gonna have and we're gonna create some good memories.
Halloween is your last show. You better wear that friggin' Predator outfit.
We're dressing up for Halloween Day, right? Because I'm coming in dressed up on Thursday.
That's my last
Halloween
one,
is actually October.
Oh, November 1st is your last one.
My last one.
Yeah,
okay.
that's a
so
Friday.
it's the day after.
Yeah,
but Halloween is on a Thursday, which means that number one, I should host that
it's
day.
my last Jedi. It's my last Jedi
it
Council
is.
on the 31st.
There you go.
So you can dress as Kylo Ren.
It's true.
We're all dressing up already.
I just should dress. No, I should dress as a Galaxy's Edge employee. 100%.
That was a ton of the chat was.
Yes.
The ton of the chat was,
Now
he's
you
leaving
can go.
because of Galaxy's Edge. It's Thad's fault. I was
Somebody
like,
said it's
I put in the chat, I was like, just so you guys know, it's not about Galaxy's
No,
Edge.
it's nothing to do with that.
Yes.
There's nothing to do with that.
That's actually where Christian is going to work at now.
No, it was so they let me. They said no. Now you're allowed. Now you have enough time to go to Galaxy's Edge.
You know, I never asked you on the show before, and this has nothing to do with you leaving or anything like that. But why did you never like go work for Star Wars? Like you write a book or like write a script or go work
just
in
Lucasfilm
development.
in general.
I guess it's that same thing that Fernandez said. It's not enough freedom.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Got
that's
what I mean?
true.
Like-
You've always,
You can't-
always been doing your thing. You
Well,
know.
contrary to belief, sometimes I like to say negative things about Star Wars, and you can't do
How
that.
dare you?
You can't
Shill.
do that. You can't do that if you're working for.
Also, if
Lucasfilm.
you were going to like the Star Wars show or anything like that, it's all up north, right?
Yeah.
So-
Well,
it's
yeah.
in
I
San
mean,
Francisco.
but you know, it's. I don't know. Is that honestly, my wife is many times because I have friends that work there and you know has said, why don't you just apply for that job at Lucasfilm? And just don't want to do it.
Interesting.
Yeah, just don't want to do it.
Because like when we were talking last week, your knowledge and your breadth of knowledge is insane. That's why I like almost zoned out because it was like listening. One of my best friends from high school majored in neuroscience in college. It's a PhD in neuroscience, and he sent me his PhD transcript. He's like, "Do you understand any of this?" I was like, no, what? That's half the stuff you're saying. Like, what's Force Friday?
Well, but that's one of the. So people, if
Yeah.
people are asking, again, just to reiterate, Collider Live not going anywhere. Jedi Council not going anywhere. They're going to continue on. And the same thing. I'm going to continue on. I'm going to be doing my own show. I'm going to be doing my own Star Wars show. I'll be doing all that stuff. So my voice, as far as those things go, are not going to be silenced. They're not going to be out. You just got to go to a different place to find them.
And that place is not
fine.
Galaxy's Edge.
That place is not Galaxy's Edge. Well, who knows?
What if you
I'll
end
go.
up doing
Maybe I do
a
a
show
show
there?
from Galaxy's Edge. No, I do it from the outside. Like they won't let me in. I have just two
Until they
guys.
let you in.
I have two guys standing. Every time I go to walk in, they just kind of wave their finger, and I just do
a
the
stormtrooper
just do the
like-
podcast straight from Galaxy's
This guy
Edge.
just going.
Yeah, it's true. Cody, let me know when thank you. Hey, you're on Collider Live. Who do we got?
Hey, this is Colin from Tennessee.
Hey, man, what's up? What do you got for us today?
Well, I'm a little depressed now that you're leaving.
No.
I've been listening since AMC, but I will definitely follow you to the Schmodown, and I'll keep listening to Collider.
Thank you, brother.
Thanks,
Appreciate
man.
it. Good on both.
Mainly for Dorina, though. Sorry.
That makes
Josh,
sense.
I'm
Hey, that makes sense.
Hey,
I listen for
Thank
Dorina
you.
too. So.
Yeah. Cool.
Me
What-
too.
What
No,
do you
I'm kidding.
What do you got for us today?
Well, I want to go back to earlier. You guys were talking about, who would get nominated for the Oscars this year.
Yes.
I might have missed it, but Dorina, I don't think you mentioned Florence Pugh for Midsummer.
Oh, that's a good
shoot.
one.
Well, Fighting
She
My
was
Family, too.
incredible.
Fighting My Family. She's
No,
pretty
she's
good,
an
too.
incredible actress.
Yeah, she
You're-
What is she in
you're
Fighting
right.
with My Family?
She was Paige.
She was
she was
Paige.
Paige.
But she's the lead in Midsummer, and that's actually one of the best performances of the year, easily.
Yeah, definitely.
She's awesome.
She's incredible.
She is going to
Yeah,
be.
she
She's
is.
like knockout. Like going to be big, huge acting star.
Oh yeah,
Like,
it's just incredible how natural she
Yeah.
is at showing you her pain and when and just not even saying anything.
Should I watch Midsummer?
Yes.
Oh.
You should
I
watch
haven't
it.
seen it yet, but I
It's not
know
for-
it's
it's-
yeah.
it's
You
not-
should
it's not
watch
for you.
it, but you should watch it because it's a good movie. But I don't think you're gonna be able to
Handle
finish it or handle
Dude,
it.
it's not for you.
Okay.
Isn't she
good, though.
in the Black Widow movie as well?
Thank you for the call.
She's going to be taking over that. From what I've understand from reports, she's going to be Black Widow moving forward in the MCU.
Makes sense. Yeah,
So.
she's like, even what we saw.
Black Widow, not the Black Widow.
D23 when we were at D23, they showed a lot from Black
Yeah, I
Widow.
didn't get to see it.
And they showed the fight scene between her and Scarlett Johansson. It's awesome. She's awesome. And for some fucking weird reason, I just got a craving for Fritos. I don't
Dude,
know why.
okay, there's a place
Just
called
now or
Just
when
right
you were
now,
watching
in the middle
fight?
of talking.
And I'm
Oh,
sure that you
Fritos are great.
I'm sure that you've been here, but there's a place called Home State. It's in Highland Park. It's an amazing, amazing taco place.
Okay.
It's fantastic. And they have this thing called a Frito pie. Do you know what a Frito pie is?
No. Yes, I just
do you know what a Frito
discovered
pie
it. It's
is?
amazing.
So they take a bag of Fritos and they take the Fritos and they make nachos inside the bag and you eat it with a fork. It's unreal.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
This is why I came to this country. Yeah, Frito pie.
Yeah. Go to Home
That's
State.
what
That's
grilled cheese
fantastic.
sandwiches. That's what freedom means to me.
It's famous in Texas. Like the Frito pie was like developed. In,
Sounds delicious. All right, let's take another one, Cody. Hey, you're on Collider. Thank you. Hey, you're on Collider Live. Who do we got?
Josh from Ohio. How's it going, guys?
What's up, Josh? What do you got for us today?
Hey, just want to say, Christian, been a fan since I saw you and Ellis. And Ellis was making weird noises and making dogs go off in the background.
Yeah.
You guys were doing reviews.
Oh, yeah.
Just want to say a lot of love, a lot of respect.
Thanks, man.
Just want to ask a quick question. Do you have like I don't want to say your favorite moment, but since your time at Collider, do you have like one of your like top moments is when you think about Collider? You know, maybe it's, shit rats with you and the late, great John Schnepp.
That was where I was going with it, yeah. I was going to go with, anytime, because the beauty about the shit rat's face with Schnepp was that it was always planned, right? And we would always, and sometimes we didn't even have to talk about it. We would just look at each other and we knew it was going to happen. And we looked, like he would look at me, he would get so excited about it. There was something stupid happening, he'd go, all right, big man, we'll do it. And we did. He and I just anytime I was on with Schnepp, and I don't know if I've ever told this. Maybe I did, but I'll tell it now. That once Movie Talk was taken. It was after he passed, and Movie Talk after Ellis left, and Perry had kind of taken over. And to Perry's credit, she'd asked me. She said, "Hey, we're launching at this new time, and I'd love for you to be on." And I told her I couldn't do it. And the reason why I haven't been on Movie Talk probably in over a year and a half is my last appearance on Movie Talk was with John. Yeah. It was Schnepp and I did our last Movie Talk together. And I probably won't ever do Movie Talk again because I don't want to ruin it. It was like I signed off with him. I was planning on doing more, but then the unthinkable happened. And then so that's a special memory that I always took with me, that I got to do my last Movie Talk with Schnepp.
Legend.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Awesome.
Thanks, man.
Awesome. Thanks, man. I really appreciate it.
You got it, brother. Thank you. And he had mentioned as far as the reviews go too. One of the other things, and I wished I would have told Fernandez this when he was in the room, but one of the things that he gave him credit for was that he let Ellis and I shoot our reviews. Yeah. We'd have to shoot them kind of in the morning before Collider Live, and it just became harder and harder for us to do. So people kept asking why the reviews were going off the Schmoes channel as much as they were, because it was very hard working here to do the reviews because there's a full-on studio running here. Yeah. And they were generous enough to let us do it at a certain time, but we didn't work. So you're going to see more reviews. I'm going to be doing way more reviews with Ellis now because I have the time to do it.
Old school.
Let's do another call. Hey, you're on Collider Live. Who do we got?
Hey, this is Adrian from Houston.
What's up, Adrian? What do you got for us today?
Hey, I had a question for Josh.
Yeah.
He's like the TV guy, knows everything.
What up?
I heard a while back, I don't even know if it was this year, that Michael Mann was going to make a Vietnam show for FX, but I never heard anything again. I was wondering if this had anything to do with Disney buying.
Could be.
It's possible. I think Michael Mann, his name gets brought up in TV all the time. There was a Collateral series they were talking about doing that Michael Mann was going to take the helm of. There was a Vietnam series. I know the one that you're talking about. That Vietnam series, from what my TV knowledge is that it was so expensive. Then the Disney thing happened that it got put on the back burner. I imagine we really haven't seen a Vietnam series ever, really. I mean, so I think that's project.
No, they did the one. They had the one. My dad used to watch it all the time. It was shit. What's it called? And Paint It Black was the theme song, and it was in the late '80s.
Okay.
There was a Tour of Duty.
Okay.
Tour of Duty was
never
the name
saw
of the
it.
show.
But they haven't done.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's been a while. It's been a while.
Yeah. In This Is Us, they had a Vietnam thing. But as far as your question for the Michael Mann thing goes, I know that he does have an overall with FX, and I don't know if it was picked up by Disney.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for the call, man. Appreciate it. All right, we'll do. We got about 10 minutes left. Take some more calls.
A Michael Mann TV show about Vietnam can only be a good thing.
Oh man! At first I thought it was Michael Bay, and I was like, no, slow motion, villages blowing up, lens flare. Hey, you're on Collider Live. Who do we got?
Hello.
Hey, you're on Collider Live. Who do we got? Billy?
Hello.
All right, gonna hang
Eagla?
up on that person.
Bueller?
Eagla, you there?
Hey, you're on Collider Live. Who do we got? What's
All
that?
right. All right.
What's
people.
that? Phone's fucked up?
No, people are just hanging out. Let's
Yeah,
try
well,
another one, guys.
People getting scared.
Cody.
Hey, you're on Collider Live. Who do we got?
Hey, it's Kevin from New York.
Hey, Kevin.
Hey,
What's
Ken.
going on? New York in the house. What's up?
Well, first I was going to say, Christian, you're going to kick ass in whatever you do.
Thanks, brother.
And all the movies, like the whole movie space on YouTube, I got into because I discovered you guys on AMC, which let me just shows and all that, which was, it's been like some of the best source of entertainment.
Thank you very much.
So first wanted to say that.
Well, we ain't going. I'm not going anywhere, so you'll be able to keep following us because I'll be doing a lot of shit for you to enjoy.
Absolutely, just like not being a regular park lighter. That's
Totally.
all. But one quick question, then just a larger thing.
Sure.
Kind of unrelated. Did you get the chance to watch AEW or NXT last night?
You know what? I didn't. And I was thinking about that on the way over today because I would have liked to have reviewed it for this show. I'm going to try to watch some of it tomorrow or tonight so I can talk about it tomorrow. Did you get a chance to watch either one?
Yeah, I watched AEW last night.
How
and
was
I
it?
watched NXT this morning before work.
Which one was better in your opinion?
You can honestly flip a coin. They were
Really?
both fucking kick-ass.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay, good. I'm
Was
excited.
Johnny LaQuasto on the NXT?
Oh yeah, was LaQuasto on NXT?
Yeah.
I know Kathy Kelly was,
not
right?
on the NXT, but he was on the watch along on
Okay.
YouTube
Oh, cool.
for the first bit.
But Kathy Kelly was
So
on
it was
NXT though,
on
right?
there. Yeah,
Good.
she actually interviewed Adam Cole.
Good.
Because, anytime Cole's on TV is great.
Good,
And
good.
Kathy being there just made it a little extra.
She's awesome. Kathy's a sweetheart.
Oh, and actually in that vein, too, real quick, Josh,
Sure.
you're going to roll your eyes at this. I'm
Yeah.
not saying this to convince you to watch wrestling, but
Cool.
there's a guy named Orange Cassidy. He's a comedy wrestler. I think you would legit laugh your ass off at him. In,
A
the right
comedy
way.
wrestler, huh?
Comedy
Yeah.
wrestler, maybe
Yeah.
some.
Yeah.
Well, you know what, dude? I'm gonna try my hardest tonight. I am going to see Joker today, so but I'm seeing a little earlier. So hopefully at night I can watch some of the AEW and NXT because I would love to get my thoughts out there because it's very good for the business right now that that those two companies are going head to head. It's gonna because just the fact that you as a wrestling fan you watched both, and with streaming the way it is today, this isn't WCW versus WWE back in the day when you just watch one rating and that's it. Watch one show and that's the rating before DVRs and all that other shit. Now you can watch both and both will flourish.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
As long as the
So-
product is good. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, absolutely.
All right.
And then one more question, just
Sure.
to the whole room, kind of piggybacking off of the Oscar talk from earlier.
Sure.
So, and I was kind of thinking about this because I had this discussion with my friends not too long ago. I was always in the camp that I thought Black Panther at least deserved the nomination last year, especially because, in my opinion, I thought the Best Picture field was kind of weak.
I'd probably go with
But compared to this year, do you think Endgame could get nominated, and we could even possibly see 2 comic book movies nominated? Because it just seems like with everything coming out, it seems like
Joker.
the Best Picture field is going to be a little more crowded.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same kind of lazy answer that I just gave Dorina before. I think once you get to the end of we're at the end of this month, leading up to December, you're just going to get piled up. So you don't know. One would guess that it's probably not going to get the nomination,
Right.
but because there's a possibility of 10 movies getting nominated, it's certainly possible.
Yeah. I mean, as much as I really enjoyed Endgame, working on my top 10 list of best movies, and it's just there's no room for it.
Right.
I've just seen there's been a lot of good movies this year.
I would say it does. I think it's being the biggest movie of all time. I'd be weird if it didn't.
I mean, you look at Avatar and you look at
that's where I'm going.
Yeah, no, it's certainly.
I guess
Lord of the Rings.
Return of the
is,
King was nominated, so that makes
It
sense.
won.
It's like
It
Oh, that's
won.
right.
Yeah,
And
won.
Two
Right,
Towers
yeah.
was
That's a good
nominated.
point.
Fellowship
Yeah.
was nominated, and then
Yeah.
they almost retroactively gave it to the trilogy.
It's certainly
It's kind
possible.
of like giving at least a nomination to the franchise.
Totally.
I guess.
I think so.
Yeah, I think so. All right. Well, thank you for the call. We can do one more, maybe two, maybe two. Hey, you're on Collider Live. Who do we got?
Hey, this is Joe from Tampa.
Wait,
Hey,
what's up,
Joe.
Joe from Tampa? What's going on, man?
Not much. I got a question. Senior Frank in high school.
We can't really. Hey, Joe, let me just cut you off for a second. I can't really hear you that well. You're
too
muffled.
close
You're
to
a little
the
muffled.
phone.
Senior Franks in high school.
Oh.
Did you guys have any good ones? Because I had a good one because I went to a redneck school.
Senior pranks in high school.
Oh,
Did you guys do a
Nah,
senior
I didn't
prank?
Really do too many. I mean, I went to
we
all
did.
boys high school, so it smelled like the whole school farted at the same time.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so it was like it wasn't great.
All right, so
So kind of like this room.
What was your
Yeah.
senior prank? Tell us your senior prank, because then I'll tell you ours. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hello?
What up?
Tell us your senior prank, and then I'll tell you mine.
It wasn't me, but somebody got, because I went to a redneck school, we had cow pastures all around.
Okay.
Somebody took 3 cows and labeled them 1, 2, and 4 and took them out all over the school.
I like it. All right. Stealing the cow. We in our fraternity, we stole a cow from the agricultural school and got in a shit ton of trouble and put it on the second floor. Yeah. Our senior prank, like the legendary one in our school was the year before. These guys in the auto shop, like whatever, they took apart a car and put it in the middle of the I don't know what you would call that, like the in the school that you couldn't get to. Right. So and they did it overnight. So in order for them to get the car out, it took like the janitors 4.5 weeks to get the car out of the school. They like put together and built a car inside of the school that they couldn't get out, which is really cool.
That's funny. I don't know who did it. It wasn't me. But our senior prank was they put a car at the bottom of the pool.
There you go.
Yeah, it was like everybody came out and for the water pool. I have no idea. I can't remember. I just remember seeing it.
Probably
It was
one of the
vivid.
drunk guys that did it. Let my car.
I don't even know how they got it.
Somebody
stole.
Thank you for the call.
No,
They
no,
built
it
this-
was somebody's car that
They
everybody
rebuilt
knew.
our high school my senior year, right? And they had this huge facade where these lights lit it up at night. And a buddy of mine built stencils and put them over the lights of people having sex, and it's put up on the school all night. And like it took the cops 2 or 3 hours before somebody finally called. That guy was doing a girl doggy style, another guy was getting a hand job. Like it was hysterical.
There you
Your
go.
guys' high schools were weird.
It's like Oz from HBO.
We just danced and drank.
Yeah.
Simple.
Right. All right. Let's do one last call it a day. Hey, you're on Collider Live. Who do we got?
Hello, is it me?
Yes, it is me.
Oh my God, I can't believe I got through. This is Jay Masters from New Jersey.
Jay from New Jersey. What up, Jay? What do you got for us today?
I just saw everything that went down. I love all you guys. Been watching it from the beginning. Reilly, Dorina, Makuga, and especially you. And my thing is for you, Christian.
Yes, sir.
I live in Jersey and I go to a lot of conventions.
Yeah.
And I know you're a huge Charlie Sheen Major League fan.
I sure am.
Yeah. Signing autographs in Atlantic City in full Wildson costume next Saturday.
Oh, that's amazing. Are you kidding me? Shit. I wish
Do you
I
think
was
he's
there.
going to do his hair? You think he's going to shave his
It's like
hair?
a one-time deal. They said it's like never going to happen again. October 12th at the Showboat, well, the old Showboat, because I don't think they have the casino anymore.
That's amazing.
Wow. That
Are
is
they
incredible.
charging people for tickets specifically?
That's gonna be fun.
It is
That is so good.
$175 for a picture and an
Worth
autograph.
every penny.
Buy it.
Every penny. If I was there,
agree.
I
I'm
would
going.
drop
Yeah,
it. To
you
Fuck
are.
yeah, you are. Wear a Schmodown shirt for me, will you? Amazing.
I will do so. And I also, the reason I knew of it was I just saw Dolph Lundgren. I know you guys are huge Rocky
Oh,
fans.
yeah. Mhm.
Just got my Russian boxing short signed by Dolph Lundgren. So
That's
I got a bunch
Wow.
of pictures of that,
All right,
too.
well,
Nice.
You're a good human being. I like everything that you're doing in
Jay,
this world.
really
All right, well, thank you for your great phone call. I really appreciate it. And thank you guys, everybody out there, for the wonderful and kind words. Thank you to the wonderful crew, my friends here today. This is not the end. This is just the beginning for all of us here, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure, if you aren't doing it already, make sure you're subscribed to this channel here, the Collider Live channel, the podcast feed, all of it. Support all of our buddies here, whether it's Reilly, Makuga, Hey Alex, Cody, Dorina, the whole damn crew, Roxy, and because like I mentioned beforehand too, I will be doing a lot more stuff. Go on over if you haven't done it before, patreon.com/schmodown and youtube.com/the schmodown. Really would love to see the support today. Really would love to see it. So please go and do that. We'll see you tomorrow. We'll be here. Will you?
Change it.